and you're not interested in any of them. You the problem. And it was like an experiment, like just like a social experiment I did. And because I did it that way, my attitude about it was different. So when I went on these dates, I wasn't pressed to make this my husband. Right. I was really like, I'm just having fun. I'm trying a new spot. It might not have been a restaurant, but I'm trying a new place. I'm meeting a new friend. Like, that's the attitude I had behind it. Right. And the energy that I put out was just totally different. I felt different versus going to the dates and being like, okay, what's he gonna say to this? And is he gonna say the right thing? And I hope he doesn't, this could be the one. Right before you go on that first date, you always tell yourself, this could be the one. Yeah. I took away that pressure. And it's just like, I'm just going to have fun. Like, I'm just learning something new about me. And I learned so much about what I wanted and who I didn't want and what I really liked that I would not have, otherwise. Right. So I did not meet my husband on these 10 dates. I did not make it to 10. I only made it to 7, but I met him like 2 months after it ended. And I have convinced myself that the reason that I was open to meeting him was because I had put myself out there and I just had this new energy around dating. I wasn't like hunting for a husband. I was just dating and having fun. And even the night I gave him my number, it was just like, I just gave some guy my number. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't pressed. It wasn't like, oh my God, is he gonna call me? It's just like, whatever. Gave a guy my number. And so I think the attitude, the spirit, the energy behind it, even just like that fun, flirty energy, not like that hard, stressed out. I hope you my husband. Don't say the wrong thing type of thing.
Asking all the crazy questions. Yeah. Coming defensive to the date.
The interview, doing the interview thing.
Right. Exactly.
And to add to that, I think honestly, and I don't know what everybody age is here, but
all over 30.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Okay.
I was born in the 1900s.
Right?
But,
isn't that crazy? Just right?
The 1900s.
But, for me, when I say that I'm single and I'm ready to settle down, it doesn't also mean that it has to happen. Ultimately, if I can be truthful, I want to just make sure I'm happy. And so I'm in a space where I am truly happy with myself. And it took me a while to get there. And so I know that for my journey, it's always been a combination of putting Taria in the right place mentally, spiritually, so that I could be ready to settle down. But then it's like, I guess I'm also like, I want to settle down, but I'm not so pressed. Like, I don't know. It's like, because
do you want to have children?
I did.
You're on the fence?
At this point, I don't think I want to. No, I'm not on the fence.
You're not on the fence?
Yeah, no.
So if you met the man, and he wants a baby, you'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
I wouldn't say no, but
you'd be open
if I can't.
Okay, got you.
I am, 42.
Girl, the technology is changing things out here in these streets.
But do I want to be 42
I don't know.
and pregnant?
It's a personal choice. So then to that point, are you open to dating men who already have children?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I would prefer.
Really?
Okay, yeah, I'm okay.
Do you prefer
with that.
younger or older?
Younger men?
The children.
Like,
do you want a man with an 18-year-old or like a 8-year-old?
Probably. It's funny, we were just having a conversation about this because I never thought about it until we were in the car. Yeah. Talking about that. Preferably a little bit older. I mean, but I thought about that too. It would be nice to come into a family where, almost kind of like a little baby. And so I can be like a little, second mom.
You can be more a part of the process.
As long as there's no problems. So, I mean, I don't really judge on a situation like that. But yeah, because I don't know if I personally want to have any kids anymore.
What about you two?
I desire kids. Again, if he already has kids, that's fine. So as long as he's available to, I'm not available. Sorry, guys.
Interested.
As long as he's not, interested in having a baby, let's do that.
What was the original question? Was it kids?
Kids, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yes.
And do you feel
I would
pressed?
like kids.
You're like, please, hey, baby, yes.
Thank you.
Are you experiencing the fears of not having kids? Does that thought cross your mind?
Yeah, I think it definitely crosses, well, not even a think, it definitely crosses my mind. I think as each birthday comes along and, we want to have a good time, go out, travel, and, turn up whatever you're doing, it definitely crosses my mind. However, I have just kind of learned to go with the flow, similar to how you were saying you got to that space, and I'm kind of at that space where I am learning to just go with the flow of things. But that's a part of my intentions as well, is not wasting time on people that I know are not for me. Mm-hmm. We're not a good match. I'm not wasting my time doing that because I do want to have kids, and I want to have kids with my husband.
Come on,
so in order to do that, I need to, be prepared and then, match with him and kind of just go from there. But yes, I would like to have kids. So, and I prefer preference, but not a non-negotiable. I prefer men without kids. You know, I think I've been somewhat jaded in the past with relationships where I did give it a try twice, dating someone with children, and it just ended up being a little bit like dramatic. You know what I mean?
Just a lot going on.
Dramatic, yeah, with that existing family, with the child's mother and that type of thing. And I don't know, it's just a lot to it. And without sounding selfish, it's just like, you know, I really would just want to take the chance to get to know somebody and see if we're going to work. And, you know, obviously our priorities are going to be different. You know, you're coming into it with a child or children, and, you know, that's number one, I feel like. And so I feel like in my previous situations, it just kind of was a bad experience.
Didn't work out well.
You know,
I think that being, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I just wanted to chime into that. So kind of like what you said, like originally I always thought like, no, my husband, we have our first child together, him not have any kids, but the older I get, I feel like it gets more unrealistic for me to have those expectations, because honestly, like I said, the guys I have dated, I would say in the past couple of years, like everyone is divorced, kids. Like, I can't remember the last time I talked to a guy that doesn't have any kids or never been married or any of the things. So even though I too, I guess off the top, if I had my way, I think I would prefer that as well. Right. But just the reality of life and where I'm at in life, it just makes more sense and it's easier, you know. Hey, we already had this family together. Perfect. Yeah. Let's keep it going. So
yeah, it's definitely not a non-negotiable. But if it was my preference,
thinking about
that's
it,
a preference.
Yeah. I think to your point about it being selfish, though, I think it comes down to being self-aware because. It to me, it's more selfish to know how you truly feel and you still entertain a man with children, and then you become a problem for the child. Right. That to me is more selfish. Or, you know, a woman who'll date a man with children, but then she don't want him to do right by the kids, or she has attitude when it's time
when they're put first.
That's
they're
selfish.
Number one.
You are being, you know, you're really being intentional because you know how you truly feel. And I'm like, I want to be number one. That is that's an okay thought. Like I want to be number one. And truly, if you're a good dad, which I wouldn't want to date a man who's not a good dad, you're going to be active. And that kid is probably going to be your number one priority. So I think that's just self-awareness that comes with like maturity. Like, this is what I can handle realistically. This is what I cannot. Do you have limits on number of children?
Oh, yeah.
Number of mothers.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, number of mothers.
I mean,
I will start. So there's a guy, he would keep asking me, Allison, can I take you on a date? Can I take you on a date? I'm like, absolutely not. And I will tell you why. You have 2 kids, 2 different baby mamas. Now, the 2 kids I don't have an issue with, but the 2 baby mamas I have the issue with.
So the multiple baby mamas.
The multiple baby mamas. So say if he was married and they had the 2 kids, that's totally fine, but I do have a limit. And then I have another guy friend who was interested, and he's divorced, but he has 4 kids. And I'm thinking, I guess in a selfish point, like, where does me and my baby, where do we fit in? Because 5 is a lot. Like, I don't want the minivan or the big, you know, suburban extended SUV to, like, ride all the kids around.
To the grocery store, yeah.
Right, and I will say this, too, back to being selfish. So there was some guys I've dated as well. They had older kids. So the kids were, like, early 20s. Definitely, that's a no for me.
Okay.
Really?
I know, shocker.
Oh,
were they girls?
They're girls.
Okay.
But the thing is, it didn't feel comfortable. Like, I just felt like, how can I, like, if we were ever to be together, like, how am I going to be your stepmom? And I feel like you're my sister, so I don't know. It's just
fun.
could have been fun.
That's how my
But
dad
I
was.
feel like,
I like a little, you know, the kids
we got
older. I like
close.
older kids.
but I feel like I would prefer to, like, grow with them and, like, get to know them more versus, because I feel like we might not be as close or really family, like if it was just you and I and, you know, you're grown already, like we miss all of those steps in life. So I feel like, what are we building at that point, in a sense?
You're just being inserted to an
Correct,
already
just being
established.
inserted.
Yeah. So 2 baby mamas is a no for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know. The 2 baby mamas is kind of like a lot too. I preferably would be like the situation of a divorcee, because most of the guys my age are typically going through that divorce. You know, we're growing, we're changing, we're not the same person, and maybe still in a great relationship. So I would say one baby mother would be great. That would be my limit.
10 kids, one lady.
Maybe two
Yeah.
kids is what I'm thinking
Okay,
is
two,
good.
okay.
Two to three. I did date a guy. He had 4, but they were grown. But at this point now he had become the granddaddy. So the grandpa, and so he was very involved into. So that was a whole other situation as well. But that dynamic was not too bad. It was still okay.
Because he had done all the hard work. This is the fun time, granddaddy.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't work out for another reason, which hopefully we'll get into that.
Well, get into it. Let's get into it. Go ahead, drop it.
Conversation,
Come on.
Not being consistent with his conversation. And so I
Really?
think that's what I find. And it ain't even like, let me not even be disrespectful, but it wasn't like he had so much going on in his life where he could not be, I'm an entrepreneur, so I know how it is to be busy and not to always be available. But
So he wasn't like ghosting you. He just wasn't consistent enough on a daily.
Yeah.
So give us an example, because what does consistent look like for you? Is it like an all day? Like, is your love language quality time? Like, are you?
It is, and that's what most people do
thing.
not think. Most people do not think, because I'm always running, or it portrays like that on social media. They don't think that my love language is quality time, but I need time. So if I message you in the morning or call you in the morning and it's still the evening and I haven't heard back, that's a problem for me.
Yeah. No.
And I'll give you grace, because I believe in grace. I ain't perfect. So I'll give you grace. We'll have a conversation. And that's what we did. We had a conversation about it and did it again. Like kept doing it back to back. And so I was like, this is not going to work for me. I cannot deal with. And then just avoiding certain conversations about doing certain things. So yeah, conversation for me and quality time is important. I don't need any affirmations, gifts. I like gifts, but it's not what is necessarily needed by me. I want to spend time. And I think that is all rooted down to the fact that as a young girl, losing my parents pretty young, so losing loved ones, you want to be able to have that time with people that you love.
So that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Deal breakers. What would you say your deal breakers are? Or your big one.
That ain't my only deal breaker though.
But
She's like,
about
I
the
got
kids,
more.
I don't think that I had like a set number in mind, because I know I said preference is no kids, but then I've dated people with kids, and I think it all depends on just kind of like where they are in their life, and where you guys are headed. But my number one deal breaker, I think just not being consistent. If I could, that could be a whole bunch of different things, but I think not being consistent. I value your time. I definitely value my time. So I think inconsistency is a major turnoff. And I'll just leave the whole, text conversation, phone conversation.
Okay, so when we get the guys up here, we're going to have to ask them about the
Why
consistency.
they do that though?
Yeah,
Why do
because
they
that's
do
a
that
thing.
though?
It's a thing.
They do that because they may not be interested, or they may have other
don't wanna hurt your
priorities.
That's what I
feelings.
think. I think
You
if
know
they're
what I
not
mean?
chasing you, they're chasing somebody else. But that's
Right.
my personal
that's an
Absolutely.
opinion. And if they are
theory.
busy, then I feel like if they
You
care
make time
enough.
for what you want to make time for.
Well, you make time, and then if you don't have the time, which could be possible at that moment, then you're gonna say something.
Yeah.
So I really don't even take that stuff seriously at one point. At some point, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna fall back. It is what it is, and then you just move on. But it doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens.
It happens, yeah.
It definitely happens. So it's not even nothing to argue about in my book. You say it once or twice, and what you keep talking about it for?
we're not gonna keep.
We keep talking about it. Clearly, you heard me the first and second time.
You be
Move on.
getting attitude with guys?
Sometimes, yeah.
Spicy.
A little spicy.
I mean, sometimes if they do something, I think that may warrant me to, I don't know, I guess have an attitude, if you want to say that.
Okay. I was just wondering. I could see you not playing with these fellas. What's your deal breaker?
My deal breaker is number one, above all anything. Like, if he doesn't do this, have this, then it's just, we don't go anywhere. But for me, what is his relationship with God? Who is Jesus to him? If he's not there, we not doing that.
What if who Jesus is to him is not who Jesus is to you, but he is somebody to him?
I'm just going to say, because you're right, we might be at different levels or things like that, but if that's just first in his life, that's who he submits to, then that's what I'm good with.
He could have his own version as long as he's... I think it's a hell no. Look at her face. I think it's a hell no.
No,
It could be a no.
Well, no, I guess more so, what do you mean?
Well, I mean...
Do he pray to a lamp?
Oh,
Is it a Buddha?
Well, that's the thing, though.
Or Jesus
so,
could be the one that you pray to.
People have, I think everybody has kind of evolved in their beliefs now.
And
so maybe I grew up
Jesus,
as a traditional Christian,
Yeah.
but now I believe there's some other version of Jesus. But I read the Bible, I go to church, or maybe I don't go to church, whatever. But he has some type of religion. Or does it have to be like what you do?
So it doesn't necessarily have to be what I do, but in this season in my life, like I need a man that can pray for me. I need a man that can cover me. I need a man that I can lean on, like good times, bad times, hard times, all the times. So that's what I need. Now, I will say this. There was a guy that recently, we dated for a very short period, but he was very, very intentional. However, the deal breaker for me is that he was a Muslim. And I just couldn't, there's no foundation.
But you dated him for, you said a while, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No, just for, I would say like a month.
Okay.
Because in my mind, then I was just like toying with like, can I do this? But like, no, I really can't. But also too, I didn't want to lose him as a friend. So we are friends to this day. But it's just, we couldn't take, or I would not take it any further because of his beliefs. So.
Was he a believer or like active? Because it's two different. There's people who believe in Jesus and people who go and say, "Hey, Jesus," down at the church on Sundays. Right.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, he doesn't have to do all that. Like,
well, no, the Muslim guy. He was
guy.
like an active.
No, he doesn't like. Yeah, he didn't go to church.
You could have converted him.
I could have, but
I
still can.
All jokes aside, I think that it is okay because I feel like you're kind of like feeling like you shouldn't say that's a deal breaker. But if that truly is,
it really is.
Yeah, if that truly is how you feel, then I think you should set that standard for yourself.
No, I'm absolutely 10 toes down. So,
okay, I love it. Come on, 10 toes down. Okay, so this is my last question before we bring the guys up. I want to know your thoughts on interracial dating. That was quick. That was quick and
black
easy.
Man.
Okay, my
I
kind
say
of girl.
nigga too much.
Okay,
sorry, but is that okay? I do.
Listen, don't flag us, YouTube. She didn't mean it.
But I'm sorry, YouTube.
Girl, I've had that thought. Like, I can't even watch my favorite comedy with you. I can't even tell jokes.
I was dating a guy that was mixed. And I'm like, let me tell you what this black or this white or this, and I was like, oh, my bad. I would always be like having to watch what I say.
Yeah.
No, but I love a black man. It's something. Yes,
nothing like it, right?
Same. I love a black man. I want black babies.
Yes, chocolate.
Yeah, I did date. I will say I have dated a white guy or two before, but it was just.
You said one or two?
Yeah, I have.
One or two, girl. You dipping in that
girl.
You dipping in that milk.
Okay, so that wasn't my last question. I'll come back. I got one more question, Allison.
I also love black men.
Okay. High fives all around.
Yes,
High fives all around.
But
Okay.
I would still date outside my race as well.
Taking it back.
I would be open to dating to find love.
So you would be open to marrying a non-black man.
I would.
You would. Okay.
I've dated outside my race before, so
Okay.
I've done it before, and I just feel like love is love. I mean, I wouldn't hate if I saw a black man with another person. A person of another race. As long as they're not bashing us, and I wouldn't be with anybody that doesn't understand. Me and who I am, and would speak negatively on who I am and what culture I represent. So that would be a no-go, period.
It's the person, but not their.
It's the person, yes. Yeah, if I'm in love, then I'm in love.
I want to talk about your people.
Yeah.
You said a handful.
A handful is 2.
Okay, just 2. I was trying to stretch it. I'm like, you said 1 or 2. Is it really 10?
No, it's really 2.
What's the difference? What's the main difference?
Actually, nothing, because I'm gonna say these 2 white guys, they were like. They only dated black women.
Okay,
so.
That's
like a fetish or something. That's something that
you know why? But you know what? What
seriously,
excites me about a black man is because I feel like as a black woman, it's like we know what black men deal with.
Mm-hmm. It's the
like
understanding.
It's an understanding. So it's like when you look at a black man, it's like what he thinks, what he has to deal with going outside the house, and just having to be able to. Literally just be safe and work and provide for his family in ways where sometimes not even seen as someone worthy of in the eyes of other people. And so I don't know, I just have a compassion for that. And I think that's what my whole thing is. So
My thing, other than just I'm blackity black,
Yeah.
was always thinking about my kids.
yeah.
I feel like, and don't cancel me for this, y'all. I'm just telling you what I think. I sometimes feel like kids who are biracial, I just feel like one of them sides is gonna be looking at them funny. One of them sides is gonna be thinking something because it might not be the person, but y'all know y'all grannies had some thoughts. My granny has some thoughts,
My
right? She
grandma.
might not say them publicly, but I know how my granny feels. So I always have those thoughts of like, would my kid be safe if they go off for the summer? Or, when they spend time with the other side, what's being said around them? I just always thought about the kid part of it. And I am just black. So, but yes, you're open for love. Okay, we're going to do a shoot your shot segment
Hey,
later.
yes,
So
come on, y'all.
Get ready. Yes, get ready. All right, so we are going to find out when it's time.
Who's shooting?
Get ready.
Wait a minute. Well, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm hyped.
Yeah,
Don't shoot.
Yeah, they're shooting shots. Okay, so give me my cam so we can swap out our guests, even though the guys, where y'all at, fellas?
Sure.
The fellas are
They were
coming.
over it.
All
They
right,
over
ladies.
us. We should have let them hear us. They
You
should've
get a
sat on
break.
here.
You get a break. The
Okay.
fellas are coming in. So
we're
we're
not
going to do the
shooting at-
I
fellas.
just want to make sure everybody knows that I do love black people and
Come-
black men.
look.
But I'm just open.
She's open. Okay. It's okay.
Girl,
Yes, it is okay.
Want the people to know.
Do we have some people tuned in on the YouTube?
Yeah, I think we get that.
Hey, YouTube. Thank y'all for sticking around.
Is there a way we should?
We are about to swap our guests out. Comment below and let us know if I missed anything. Let me know. Come on in, fellas. Where my fellas at? You're here. We got one. Are they out there? Oh. Y'all are seeing the behind the scenes. We're not having technical difficulties, but we had to swap this out without going to a commercial break. Huh?
I see y'all look on camera.
Hey, fella. No matter.
Oh, it's going down.
Yeah, he was there. Next to me. He just there. Oh. Thank y'all.
Shoes dope.
Oh, thank y'all.
You actually
Got a
got a
little
matching
something,
shoes,
something?
actually.
Huh?
That shoes actually matching.
My mat? Oh, yeah. We fancy. Fancy. All right, guys.
Smile for the camera, guys.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Let me see. Is this right?
Hey, can you go
Oh,
to,
Okay,
I
yes.
wasn't looking. My bad. Hold on.
No.
bro,
Oh,
can you go to my camera angle?
the YouTube gonna be like, stop playing with us. Okay, so y'all were kind of in, kind of out for the girls' conversation. You were mostly in. Y'all were mostly out.
Heard enough.
You heard enough, and then you left. Okay, so let's start with introductions. Introduce yourself, your relationship status, and your zodiac sign.
Justin Owens, would you say? Zodiac, Scorpio,
Relationship status and
dating.
Dating.
I'm Justin Blue. I'm newly in a relationship, and I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
I thought it was about single people. Okay, cool. I'm Jonathan Dupaton. I'm single, very single. Leo. Yes,
It makes sense, right? Okay, but it is a single show. Single meaning unmarried, right? You're single until
Single till you're
you're married.
married.
I thought you were engaged though.
Yeah, I'm single till I'm married.
This
Just
escalated
said
very quickly.
He said
Okay,
very.
I lied.
Okay, he lied. I told him. He's
No, I
definitely
lied.
lying. Okay, so I asked the ladies about their dating experience here in Atlanta because Atlanta has such a reputation for being tricky, not for y'all, but for ladies mostly, being tricky
tricky
in
for
terms
us.
of finding a husband. You have found a young lady recently
Right?
in Atlanta, or no?
Florida. So I'm back and forth
Okay.
between
You back and
Atlanta
forth.
and Florida. So
Gotcha.
my hometown is Florida.
Gotcha.
But I'm based in Atlanta. So
But you have done some dating in Atlanta.
Most
All
def-
of you
mo-
have done,
most definitely.
most definitely done some dating
Most
in Atlanta.
definitely.
So, in your opinion, 3 eligible bachelors. I don't know if you're a bachelor, but I'm putting some respect on your name. Nothing I say is meant to be disrespectful, young lady. I want to know from y'all, based on the dates that y'all been going on, you went on back in the day.
I've been
What's
on a
the
lot.
biggest? What is the biggest challenge that you're having out here in these streets? Because they say men control access to the relationship, women control access to sex.
Right.
So you two are not in relationships. Why? What is the issue with the ladies out here in these streets?
I would say, for me, I meet a lot of women that are superficial. A lot of women that go for men for the money. So when I run across these women, it's hard to take them serious because you don't know what they want you for, and they hang around these same type of women. They have the same aesthetics, so it's hard to tell what's real. So that's for me. Yeah, and go ahead.
I got to answer. No, I mean, in most cases, the cons outweigh the pros. And then especially in a space like Atlanta, it's so many amazing, beautiful women. And then there's such a minority of men, and the men that they actually want. Like, all these women are competing for this small number of men. So it's like, why lock in with just one woman when you have access to all of these women? So I think that's one of the things. It's like, why? It just doesn't make sense. If for most men, it just really doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say when I was dating in Atlanta, I only probably went on 2 dates with people from Atlanta. I like dating people outside of my city personally.
That don't live here. Are you saying
Correct.
like live here but aren't from here, or don't even live here?
Don't even live here.
Oh, so you like no to Atlanta women?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, nothing against them, but it's just, I've been in Atlanta a long time. There's gonna be some cross pollination going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'd just rather deal with that in a different
Cross
environment.
pollination.
So long distance. You're cool with long distance.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm busy, so it makes that actually makes it easier.
Okay, Justin, you are in a long distance relationship.
No, I'm back and forth, so we good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
But I've been in long distance relationships. I grew up in my father's household, but I would see my mother, every other Monday, every other weekend. I would see my mother, and so getting older, I was in different long distance relationships, and then I was doing some reading, and I realized how you love tends to be like how you experience love in your childhood, and it didn't hit me that I was so comfortable in these long distance relationships because I essentially had a long distance relationship with my own mother, even though she was in my same city. Talking on the phone in the morning, talking on the phone before I go to sleep. Not seeing her on a regular basis. She's not there for a reason that's out of her control. And then finding myself in adult situations the same way, where it's like, okay, loving a woman, but she's far across. So like for this relationship, it's like, nah, I ain't with the long distance.
You got to pull up on her.
Yeah, you got to.
What is the end goal? I mean, obviously the end goal is like commitment, marriage, but at what point in the relationship is it like, okay, somebody's got to move or something's got to give?
For me?
Yeah. Because you have experience with long distance, right?
Yeah. I mean, but it didn't work. So.
But did it not work because that time never came, do you think, or no? Where you're like, okay, we need to be in the same city.
I think it was just the time periods of life. The roughest part about long distance relationships is you're always playing catch up. Every single day we all change just a little bit. It might be the smallest thing. So let's say you go a month without seeing a person, or you go 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. By the time you see that person after a 4-month period, there's new things. They've had new experiences. There's some philosophies that have changed about this person. Maybe they realize they like to dress a certain way, or certain fashion things have changed. And so you're always re-meeting this person versus actually growing with the person. And that's the hardest thing when it comes to
it. It could be a good thing though too, because it's like always fresh, always new. There's always something different that you can get excited about.
I mean, thing is, new relationships are always exciting. That honeymoon phase is always exciting, but the honeymoon phase, you're not really getting to the real stuff to where you have
substance.
Right. So I think that's the hardest part about long distance relationships. Like, other hard part is this: many times you may love the person, but since the distance is so much, you're actually in love with the illusion of the person. You don't actually love this person. You love who you think they are, who you desire for them to be. And it's so easy for that to occur when you having those butterfly phone conversations, when you having those beautiful FaceTimes. Like, that's cool, but you're not seeing the day to day. You're not seeing the ups and downs of their mood. Even if they're extremely low, they might be extremely depressed. They just ain't got to pick up the phone. Maybe they'll just call you back tomorrow. But if you're in the same household, or y'all are spending real time together, when that person goes to their lowest energy level, you got to actually experience that. You got to experience how they are. So that's a huge difference too.
So speaking of long distance, has anybody on this couch been catfished?
In what ways? Like,
I mean, I just assume. I can't believe it. First of all, I can't believe people are still getting catfished and we have all this technology, but the show is still on. I guess it's still happening. I am more so talking about like maybe an Instagram girl or like a
They have this app called Facetune.
Facetune.
Something
thing.
face.
Yeah.
It does this thing to a woman's face.
it's crazy.
It takes all the blemishes. It just makes them a perfect looking woman. And I've run across some women that don't match up to their pictures. And it's really disappointing. And it's like, well, you already here. Like, what do you do at this point?
What do you say?
I'm gonna keep eating my food. And then, after, then we might not converse. I had another woman that it wasn't just the face, it was just the body too. Like she would wear this thing that kind of made her butt plump. And then the time was about to go down.
Yes.
The time was about to go down. She took it off. And it wasn't really nothing back there.
So do you follow through?
No, I didn't.
You are.
No, I did. I swear, I did not. I did not. Not because of that. Because I didn't want to take it there with her.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how we got to that stage.
That's exactly what I was about to say. How did you get that far if you didn't want to go that far?
I was finessed.
The finesse got finessed.
I got finessed.
Very interesting.
I don't know if I ever got catfished because I do a lot of research before I even meet up with you. Like, we going to FaceTime a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at your tag photos to see what other people... Because, when other people take
Right.
pictures...
Oh,
Free game.
They don't care how you look, you know what I'm saying?
They gonna tag you in some
Yeah,
ish.
because, people only look at themselves in the picture, so when they tag you to it, it's like, okay.
You can look like anything.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Because I only need 1 or 2 pictures to see that. Everybody got that one picture that's like the real one. You're like, okay, I see what you're doing. And then, then from there, then I'll decide if we want to continue. But I've never, just talked to somebody on the phone and then just showed them and didn't know, what...
You do your research.
We got to do FaceTime a couple times. Early in the morning, I just need to see you.
Early in the morning.
I need to see you.
Early in the morning.
With the bonnet
I
on.
need to be FaceTiming you talking to the ceiling. I need to see your face.
You need to see your face. Turn that light on.
But even on that FaceTime, you got to make sure.
You know what?
You got to make sure that FaceTime is if this is all you see on the screen, that's a red flag right there.
She know them angles.
She know them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you at least get a whole upper half shot.
It's funny. I have this philosophy. I literally could tell what a girl is insecure about by what she doesn't show.
Of course, yeah.
So if a girl, all her pictures are this, then she's insecure about the bottom. If she's every picture, she's got her legs super I've learned that the further this leg is out, the smaller the booty. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a real science.
I don't know about this. Okay. I got to research that one.
Teach the people.
The further that they stand,
They trying to lift it.
They're trying
you know
to-
what I'm saying? The
okay.
further his leg is
Trying to
out.
tip it.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I did my research. That's what I'm saying.
You
I
have
see
done your
this,
research.
I've done
Okay,
this,
so since we're on this topic
yeah.
of the physical, I had an interview last season, and part of the conversation that came up was the fact that men have sex with women they're not attracted to. And I would like to know from you guys, is that something that you all have a habit of doing? Or have you done it before? And if so, why?
It's a trick question because it's possible to have sex with a woman that you're not necessarily attracted to as far as how she thinks or what she actually got going on, but maybe she's got a fat ass or something like that.
That's what I mean. I mean, you're not attracted to her physically. I'm not talking about the body because you fellas, y'all will look past the face for a body, but I'm talking about
Just off across the board,
Yeah.
she's not physically attractive.
yeah,
But does she have other attractive elements, or we're just talking about physical?
you just want to have sex. Do you just have sex with ladies just because you want to have sex? There's nothing about this lady you're interested in. You don't really like looking at her face.
For me, in a younger time period, maybe college, just because it might just be a boring Wednesday. Maybe you might catch me, but now
The boring Wednesdays.
as I've evolved and grown, because I was having a conversation with my boy one day. I was talking about some girl he wasn't attracted to, and he was like, I wouldn't even disrespect myself like that. And this is way back in college, but that was the first time I was just the concept of him saying I wouldn't do that because I would be disrespecting myself.
You were
sounds
wow, I never thought about that.
It sounds simple, but as men we're not trained to think that way. Nobody gives us lectures on self-respect in the sense of sex and who you choose to give yourself to, all that stuff. So that was one of the first times he right. She don't even deserve this man. So that was one of those moments that kind of changed my perspective, and that's one of those philosophies I've matured into.
Okay, so in your younger days. What about you, Jess? I don't think you are. Yeah, you looking at the angles, the leg poking out. I knew your answer already.
You know what I'm saying? Details. You got to know.
With me, I won't chase it though. Not a butt ugly chick. I couldn't do it. Like I got friends that send me pictures of girls, and I'd be like, why would you even touch that? Yeah. But for them, like that, they think that's that's good for them. Like for me, like I didn't raise the level of the women that I deal with. So I'll be trying to tell them like, listen, if you raise the bar, right, you don't have to deal with these women. They don't think they can get these type of women, so they stick with the lower level women. So like the other day, some girl came in town. We were supposed to just do some work podcasting or whatever, but
some girl.
She wasn't like really attractive to me, but she wanted to have sex, and I did it. But she wasn't butt ugly. She had a nice body.
Wait, you said and I didn't, or I did it?
I did it. I did. Yeah, I did it.
You feel bad about it?
I don't feel bad about it. She wasn't butt ugly. She was cool. It was fun.
She was cool and was
but
fun.
I would never like chase anything that I'm not attracted to.
But if it's just served up on a platter, you'll take it.
Yeah, if it's just there, you know.
That's fair.
But if it's like some trailer park trash in the hood type of you got to have some type of.
It's got to be easy and convenient. You're not like gonna go out of your way to get it.
Yeah, but I'm not the ugliest though.
Okay.
Not the most unattractive woman. I can't do it. Like look at me. Like why would I even?
Justin, you're so funny. Okay. Okay. So marriage for men. Justin.
Okay.
This Justin.
This one.
Justin should be
Yes,
first.
this Justin right here.
Sure.
We've got two Justins and a Johnny. Okay.
He's next in line.
Men.
I've been married before.
You've been married before. Okay, he said it.
he
I didn't
got
know if you were gonna
insight.
say it.
Okay.
Okay. I think on the last one you ain't want to say it, so
Yeah.
I ain't know if we was towing the line.
Yeah, you know what? I've made peace with it. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
That's fair.
Because,
What were you in before when you weren't peaceful?
No, I just had to make peace with that. You know, like
I know, but were you like mad that it? Like, what was it that you were in?
I was at peace with it, but I just at peace to discuss it. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Yeah,
Okay.
no, I was definitely at peace with it. You know, I'm not like proud of it because it's still an L. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to lose at anything, so it's still a L.
The marriage was the L.
Yeah, no, like a divorce is a L.
Okay.
Because like you did something and it didn't work.
Okay.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I started something and I didn't finish it, so it's still an L. But yeah, no, I don't know if I would change it that though.
Would you get married again?
For sure, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely a married type. It's just like I've done both. Like dating a lot is very expensive, and I was cool with it for a while. But it's like sometimes like there's definitely situations where I know it's literally just about money.
How do you know?
Oh, you could tell.
You can tell.
You can tell by what she says. What she like.
I've had some dates where it'd be like, call somebody, hey, what was that steak you said I need to order again? How many ounces do I need to get?
You are lying.
Okay, go ahead.
In
and
front
order
of
it.
you at a date?
Yeah. I mean, but you still got to order the steak. I mean, listen.
Y'all are
gotta order
bold.
It's on mission. You know what I'm saying? We staying focused on the goal. But like stuff like that and like hinting to like just problems that come up. It's just certain stuff that just pop in. You be like, okay, I know what this is, and I just take like you know what it is. So it's like you run across it a lot. So it's like, okay, yep, I heard this before. I've seen this before.
And then you put them in a box.
Yeah. Well, they put themselves in a box, and I just accept them. Like, okay, that's where you at.
So do you think marriage is beneficial? Well, obviously you think marriage is beneficial for men if you would do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think the benefit is?
One, focus. And I think, but it has to be at the right time for you. Because if not, if it's the wrong person, it can make you unfocused. Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than being with the wrong person. And then because marriage is something that's very easy to get into, hard to get out of. You know, like you just got to say I do to get into it, and you can't say I don't to get out of it. You got to decide. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very expensive. It costs. But I think it definitely helps. And then I know, like for me, a lot of people I deal with in business, some of them won't do. They've told me like they don't do high level business with people that aren't married. They say that if somebody else hasn't trusted you with their life, why should they trust you? And that's not everybody, but it's definitely some people that I've done business with. They say that that's like a thing that they look for. Yeah,
It's like a next level. They talk about, the percentage of high, I don't want to say high value, but high achieving men. Majority of them are married because of, they're focused. They're not out here being distracted by everything.
And even white guys that do mess around and do all that, they still get married. You know what I'm saying? But it's still like, okay, we're going to have it. I'm not saying that's right.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. But it's definitely wrong. And I know it's definitely wrong. What I'm saying though, it's still big enough for them to family is big enough of a foundation to say, okay, I'm going to commit to a person. And you know, if people do that, they do that. I don't want to go about that route, but I would do it again.
What do you think is going to be the benefit to getting married for you?
My benefit from it?
Yeah, your benefit.
I think having a good woman beside me will definitely take me to the next level.
Facts.
I definitely think that, but I have a different take on marriage. I want a life partner, not just someone I'm in love with, because you can fall out of love. So I just want somebody that's just ready to take this ride with me. Like whatever it's gonna be. Like I don't want to even think about divorce. We're gonna be together, and it's like a friendship more than a relationship. Like this is my dog.
A real partnership.
Yeah. So I don't even know if that's gonna happen.
Why
I might
wouldn't
end up with two people.
Okay, and live a poly life.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on my cue card. We'll come back around to that. Justin, what about you?
What about
the benefit? What's the benefit for men?
All right,
in
so
marriage?
when you're dealing with a whole bunch of women, it's like having the AC in your house on 60. Maybe say you had the AC's on 60 degrees. It's blowing. It's summertime. 60 degrees in your house. AC. But you got all the windows open. And so all the energy is just going out. That's how it is when you're dealing with a whole bunch of women. You messing with them, but you might teach one woman one thing, cool, but she going off. You teach another one, it's going off. You put your money here, it's going off. Date here, it's going off. So you investing all this time and energy, but it's just going out the window. When you got one woman that you're really pouring into, it's like having all those windows closed and then the AC blowing on full. So you're able to go further and progress further in life because of the
Great one.
the energy is staying in one place and building.
Well, I'm gonna use that as well.
Right? next panel, you got your answer. Okay. Do y'all think that all men cheat?
How we go from married to cheating?
We done escalated.
Because I was going to ask about the husbands cheating on their wives, and I figured I'd just make it general.
Okay.
All right. So I've been doing some meditations on this myself, and my new response is, do all people have sex in their life?
All? Most. Majority.
That's my answer. So there'd be like, I think there's outliers to every single question. And I don't think the answer is all men. But similar to like, most people in life have sex, and there's very few virgins. And most men cheat or have cheated, and there's very few men that like succeed in monogamy across the board throughout their life or throughout a marriage or throughout their relationships.
So we should just expect men to cheat on us?
I don't think all men cheat. I don't think so. A lot of them do. But that comes to knowing who you are. But I actually know some people that have not cheated ever, and they don't plan on it. Like that's just they don't operate like that. So I think I think that's a choice. But it's the same thing for women. Like honestly, sometimes women be better at it than guys.
I think they're better at it. I don't know if they do it as much, but I do think they're better at it. And I don't know the statistics, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know the statistics, Justin?
I don't know the statistics. I don't think women are better at cheating.
You don't think so?
I think it's easier for women to cheat.
Because men are dumb or something?
We just don't pay attention.
No. It's
I agree with that. We don't be asking all them questions.
We don't be looking at the details.
it's this though. All right, so a man cheats, and let's say he has a side woman. The side woman, she gets emotionally attached to him. If he drops whatever benefit she gets emotionally or whatever it is, she might come to this person as a woman. But say you got a side dude, his ego is getting stroked by the fact that he do whatever he do. He off about his business. He ain't have to pay no bills. He ain't really have no responsibilities. He ain't have to spend no real time. He just go, drop it off, he gone. He can brag to his homeboy and say, yeah, I was in that all night. Look at him. She on Instagram kissing the man right there. So it's not so much that women are better at cheating. It's just that it's easier for them to cheat because men are less interested in like going and addressing it and bringing it up to the person that she's actually with.
Yeah, but the only reason I think it's easier is because, like, for a guy to cheat, they got to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I gotta like warm you up. We gotta go on a date, unless it's something that we already had a situation in the past. It's like I gotta do all this court and stuff. Like a lady could just be like, "Yo,
let's do it."
Yes, you can just say yes.
Yeah, it's just like
that's 3 a.m. text. It ain't
you see what I'm saying? It's like they have the entry, we got to work for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that makes it a little easier to just turn it on, turn it off whenever you want.
I think that's what makes it so hard for so many women too. It's like you got a whole wife and you out here dating somebody. It ain't like you just went to the club and accidentally had sex with somebody afterwards. You have a girlfriend. Yeah. That to me is like, that's next level because you put all this intention behind it. You spending the household money. You're doing all of these things versus it just being like, oh, I just slipped up.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask this though. What if I just paid for it and we skip all the day? And if your husband paid, and you found out he paid for a prostitute.
Don't use me in the example. I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. No, I'm just playing. Hey, baby, he went. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If my husband got a prostitute, would I be mad?
It's two different type of cheating.
Yeah. The thing that would upset me would be, I'm home for free. What would you pay money for?
Newness.
Nigga, no-ness, no.
That's just, that's how a man thinks.
That's what the answer would probably be.
Newness.
Well,
nah.
I don't think it's right.
It's not.
That's the answer.
It's not right, but the answer is this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so you might have a millionaire who drives a Rolls Royce, and this car is what he needs. Like it's luxury. Like this might be his dream car, but he still might have a dirt bike in the garage.
Not the dirt bike.
And I say that to say like, the woman that he's with may really be the woman of his dreams, might be every single thing, but at the same time, like somebody in the streets, they may specialize in just sex or may specialize in just whatever, or it might just be fun or experience, but it's not something he actually wants to keep in his life.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't as good of an illustration. I can't get jiggy with that.
No, but I thought he was gonna go.
Oh, you thought I was gonna go with this?
Like you got the Rolls Royce,
right?
Sometimes you just want to take.
You got options.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But again, I don't think
You said a dirt bike, and that just made me think about just like a.
No, because the reason I said a dirt bike is because of this. So like Meek Mill's got money, right?
Yep.
I don't know his bank account, but we'll assume he has money. We'll assume he has nice cars. If he's going on a road trip, he's trying to go to a destination of importance. Even though he loves riding dirt bikes, this is probably something that he gets a thrill. It's a lot of fun for him.
Hose.
He's not going to ride a dirt bike on a cross country trip where he's trying to go somewhere important. He's gonna take a reliable car. He's gonna take a car that is gonna meet the needs
And
of where
that's
he's
the
actually
wife.
trying to go.
That's the wife.
And so I think a lot of men fall into that category of like women ask, okay, why would you have this amazing woman and still do this? Same reason like Meek Mills might have this amazing car. He might have a whole fleet of cars, but at the same time, in his free time, he still like to go and ride his dirt bikes and his 4-wheelers, etc. So like, that's what I would say.
You got something to add?
Not saying it's right by any means.
Yeah, both of y'all. I'm not saying it's right.
I don't think
but-
every man cheats. I know.
I agree with you
I know
there.
few men amongst me that don't cheat. I'd rather not cheat. I've been in situations where I felt like I had to cheat, and I think it's more than just sex. Like when you're dealing with one person, I think just stepping outside kind of like revitalizes you. Like once you step out and you experience another person, and you go back to your other person, you kind of just you have an extra boost of energy to deal with the person you're dealing with.
You're not gonna like the answer.
I know, but like seriously, like I was in a relationship and like our sex wasn't that good, and I would go have sex with other women and come back home to her.
And that made your relationship better.
Yeah, I could deal with the bad sex.
Okay. What is bad sex for a man? I'm sorry. It's a serious question. Well, not on my cards, but I'm just curious.
Bad sex would be not understanding the man, not understanding what he likes, what he dislikes, learning him. And then you could have trash coochie, dry.
That's a thing?
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Look at y'all faces. I never had any. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I mean, the performance is not there. And there's some women that overperform, that are overly sexy. You like looking at them. Like sometimes like your girl done lost her shape and you want to look at something different. So.
Yeah, bad sex, it exists.
It's
because
is it prevalent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Because
Wow.
it's one is experience, and then another part of it is energy, then another part of it is like anatomy. Different women get wetter than other women. Different women are easier to make come than other women. There's some women who squirt. There's some women who don't. It's one woman you could put in. You could drink a 4 Loco and a 5-hour energy, and you could go ham, and she might just be like, And then there's another woman where you might be giving 10%, but that's to the moon to her.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things, it varies.
It matters.
It does. Scent is really important too.
And you could have sex, like, let's just say we had sex with the same woman. I could have a whole different experience with this woman than him. It just I didn't connect with her as much as he did.
Speaking of having sex with the same woman, I have a question. Me and my husband have a running argument that I'm not going to tell you the argument first. I'm going to ask y'all and then I'll tell you. What is it called when 2 men have sex with 1 woman?
That's called
a G. A G. A train is.
You talking about at the same time?
You said a train. You said
at the same time?
At the same time?
Yeah, 2 men having sex with 1 girl.
At the same time.
They're in the same room. Everybody's pants are down.
I'm
together.
gonna keep it 100. That's a train.
Oh,
I think a chain and a G is the same thing.
A G.
A
Where
G.
are you from? What's the what's that stand for?
I was born in Jersey.
What does G stand for? A
Same
gang bang.
Gang.
I just came to that.
So that's worse than mine.
I figured it out. Okay. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's our argument, though.
Oh.
I think
It's not a threesome.
that women think it's a threesome.
It's not.
It's not.
He swears that this is a train.
Let me tell you why. Because if it was a threesome, 3 people would be engaging. Mm-hmm. And if these 2 guys ain't gay, then it's a G.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and sitting here, I just thought about it. So like a train links together, but the parts don't necessarily touch.
This guy with these.
You know what? He got the story.
So with a threesome though, you got 2 women. Like women can touch each other. They can, there's different things. They can really be involved with each other. Everyone is involved within this. But like a train, that's like, hey, he on his side, she might be in the middle.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If anything touches at some point, they are scarred for life. They're never going to talk about it.
Scarred.
Got it.
Scarred.
Yeah, that's actually the best answer I've heard.
Mm-hmm. The train.
Yeah, well, the way you explained it, though, it's like, yo, because the guy's not going to interact. They be like, yo, bro, stay on your side.
You feel me?
And
I don't even want to look at him, bro. Yep.
That all sounds so weird. Okay, last question. Then we're gonna bring my ladies back.
They had a longer time than us.
They definitely did.
Wow.
First of all, I have a whole clock right there. I got a clock. I know how long it's been.
Well,
Okay.
What time is it?
Y'all know they was talking for a long time.
See, I'm on, right? I'm
they
good,
was
right?
on for like an hour.
Y'all not going nowhere. Y'all just gonna scoot back. Y'all staying. Don't worry. Virgins. Do you date virgins? Would you date a virgin?
I'm looking
why or
for
why
one.
not? You're looking for okay.
That nobody ever touched in life.
Would you marry her?
Why wouldn't I? This is a virgin pussy.
You got it.
I got it.
You don't want it. He can have it.
I never had sex with a
got
virgin, but I think with a virgin, you could teach them things.
That's true.
I would rather have a woman that nobody has.
Okay.
That could walk in any room that nobody can say they never touched in their life. But I don't know if that even
If
exists.
that's his thing.
Yeah.
Justin,
But why? I need to hear this.
No,
Go ahead.
I want somebody with some experience. Like, don't be overqualified, but
Don't be overqualified.
I want you to have experience because you don't even know what's good. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's bad. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you don't like because you haven't really lived and experienced things. And so, I want a woman that at least knows herself enough and has learned enough to where I'm not starting from scratch trying to teach every single thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the way we were made, that's how it's supposed to be. Like spiritual. I think
Like
like
biblically.
some of the stuff that we run across in this world because people step outside of that. So because if like the only person you ever had was one person, like you really wouldn't even know. I give you an example. There's this couple that I know, and they've only had each other, and they were like, "Yo, it's the craziest thing. Like when we are intimate, like it's fire, but like sometimes the room smells like trash."
I have to go.
And I was like, they was like, yeah, it's fire, but I just want you to know it's gonna be like smelling like trash. I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to be like. But guess what? They don't know because they've never
What
had
are
anybody
you talking
else.
about, Justin?
I'm
What
for
is
real. No,
happening?
I didn't make this up. I'm saying, but what I'm saying
That's
is
a prime example. Like,
what I'm saying is if you don't know, then you don't know.
You should know. There are some things that are like I don't have to experience this to just know that
No,
something
but-
about
but-
this
but
is not right.
you never had good, so you don't know that this is off.
Because the guy's not gonna be like, go tell his friend. They gonna be like, yo, your girl ever you ever smell it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna explain it like, But I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Not the doo-doo or trash.
Yeah.
Okay. On that note,
So what happens is when you don't know, then you don't know. You can deal with a lot more.
clearly, you can clearly deal with a lot more. But he was coming to you for some advice.
Not for me coming for
I got this
advice.
story. Hold on, before we So I had this one chick that I was dealing with. She wasn't a virgin, but she just was horrible at sex. And I would tell her, like, your sex is horrible. Your head is trash. I didn't say it like that. I said it in a nice way. And I showed her examples, like, this is what you need to be doing. Like, here's some examples.
You try to teach her. Okay.
So we stopped messing around. A few months went by. She came back, and she was a pro. And I don't know who she was practicing with. But I couldn't be mad at, the fact that she probably dealt with 2 or 3 guys to get right and practice and come back to me. But I feel like you can always train a person.
Yeah.
You could train a person what you like. Because you get a girl and she a pro at everything. It's like, damn, like how many guys did you have to experience?
That would be the overqualified, huh?
That's overqualified.
He wants somebody right in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to go bike riding with you, but I want to teach you how to ride a tricycle. Like,
Got it.
like raw talent, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe
Raw
you can,
talent.
Yeah.
oh my God.
All right, ladies, please come back. Please come back, ladies. Come on, fellas.
We going to the back?
Yes. Yeah. I need some more. I need some ladies to help me out with this. Whew. Mic check, mic check. What'd y'all think about the guys? Hilarity.
It's interesting. Very good insight.
Good insight, right? This is why I feel like we have so many conversations around dating and relationships amongst ourselves, but we hardly ever have the opportunity to talk to the guys that we actually want to date. You know, it's like,
ladies ever want the truth when they really ask questions?
I do. I personally.
I want the truth.
They can't handle the truth.
I think I think that we get so used to, and this is why I don't like doing just only women events, because I feel like we get so used to being in these spaces where it's just women that you've now been programmed into believing, like, this is all we need to hear. So eventually when you do hear the truth, you're like, no, because I've been hearing this from my girls for so long, this is the truth.
Yeah.
So we do want, it's just we got to hear it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's delivery, because
delivery is important.
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, but I think he was doing a great job delivering truth, but it was wrapped up in some.
He'd be like, how much you weigh?
No,
Yeah.
actually, in full context, it was actually perfect delivery, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
I think in full context, it was perfect delivery. The snippets that people got that they did, that was like, Instagrammable or
Yeah, the Instagram.
Like that stuff was like out of context. But in the full context, because he went in on both people. He went in on men.
He definitely
went
did.
in on women. He was fair. Like, and the thing is, here's my thing about Kevin Samuels. He had a show, and you called into his show.
Yeah,
so
facts.
you knew
That
what
part.
he did.
Put yourself in
So
the
if you
position
call
to-
into a show to somebody that talks like that, well, then you know what you're walking into. It's not like he's calling people randomly and having
finding
people.
people.
You know what I'm
Hey, how
saying?
about you wait, lady?
You already know the questions he's gonna ask you.
And you know yourself. I was
You
watching.
should have better
look,
questions. You should have better answers.
I still watch Kevin
Right.
Samuels like he's still alive. I was
I wish he
watching
was
a lady
still here.
today, and like you said, you know how you're presenting yourself.
Yeah.
So these ladies would literally have like the bonnet and the like
Coming
all of the
on,
things,
right, coming
and
on,
then you get an
looking
like-
attitude when he's like, "Ma'am, you're
Knowing
below
men are
average."
very visual.
Yeah,
So
it's-
the first thing I see.
Yeah, it was hard to defend most of.
I loved his
most
questions.
of
They
the
were so
ladies.
great.
They were good, and you know what? He wasn't just like a trash talker.
No, he
And
wasn't.
Almost everything he said was rooted in like statistics and
Statistics,
studies and
numbers.
facts. Yeah,
90% of men.
But people,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dang.
yeah, he was on it. He was on it. But I think he was an example of not wanting to hear the truth, I guess.
I felt like women would come up there just to try to prove to him something. I don't know. I would never call.
It
Like,
never
why
went.
would
That's what I
call
said.
it?
I would never
Like,
call
why would
this
call it?
man.
Like,
I would
it's
just
like,
never call you.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm right here.
Not on my
let's
platform.
debate.
You're
But
probably
there were
not
like there were
gonna
times where they had women that came on there that were about their business, and he
Yeah.
would be like, "Yo, you're doing a
And
good
he
job."
wasn't rude. Yeah, he wasn't always, crazy and outrageous. But I do truly think that he had a good intention. Because at the end of the day, he was promoting and advocating for marriage. He didn't, and the black family. It wasn't just like y'all are trash, kick rocks by a dog. But it's like these are the things you're gonna have to do if this is the result that you want to have.
I want to say something though about what you said.
What I say?
When you were talking about the girl that you were dating,
Yeah.
and how you ended up having sex with other women because she wasn't pleasing you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said that you then told another girl how to have sex. So that was kind of contradicted
girl.
yourself. Yeah.
Oh, this is two different
Yeah,
times.
because you wanted a virgin. You said I'd love a virgin, but a virgin woman ain't gonna know what to do.
This was two
You want a
different
freaky
times.
virgin that's
I know,
been
I
watching
understand
porn
it's 2
since she was a teenager?
I don't want a freaky virgin.
I don't
want
know.
to make her freaky.
Oh. But are you? But okay. But
Now the first relationship, it was a little different. It
Oh.
wasn't that she was just bad with sex. It was just our sex chemistry wasn't there.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't something I could really just teach.
Gotcha.
How did you get that far though?
What you mean?
Like with the bad sex to be in a relationship?
I can't really say too much because
She watching?
Oh.
she might watch and
Okay.
put pieces together. And
She's probably already
What makes
pieced it.
bad sex chemistry? I do want to know that.
Same thing that makes bad dancing chemistry.
yeah,
You ever
knowing
been
your partner.
Yeah, you,
Yeah.
Just, you ever been to a club and just
Find the
dance
rhythm,
and
you
you're
know
like,
what I'm
oh man, they just cannot dance.
Can't catch that beat.
Can't
Find
get
the
in sync.
rhythm.
I have a question for you. So why did you stay when the sex was bad and you went to go experience other women and then come back to her just because the sex was bad? Like, why didn't you just leave?
I don't even know. I couldn't even. It didn't last long.
Got it.
Oh.
Didn't last long at all.
So I asked the fellas this on their exit about dating a virgin, and I wanted to ask the ladies as well. Would that be something you're interested in?
I guess I don't know if I would say interested, but
Would that be okay with you?
sure. Why not? If all was going and we were about to, and he was like, I really have never done this before. I don't think I would just be like, cut the brakes. We can't do this
You're
anymore.
still not going to do it, sir.
Yeah, right. That's never happened to me though. I don't even foresee that happening. But I don't think it would just be like a deal breaker.
Would you need to have sex with him before marriage, though? Like if he wanted to remain a virgin until marriage?
Speakers.
I would like to, but I've dated somebody once who wanted to wait until marriage. Throughout that process of dating, we just realized we weren't for each other. But that's something that I told him I would consider.
Okay.
I don't think I would date a virgin. But if a guy did tell me that, wanting to wait until he got married, that would not be a problem. Like, like maybe, we're refinding ourselves. But I would still need to kind of feel and see what's going on, test it, there's other ways you can know. And kissing, I believe kissing to me is very intimate. So a really good kisser can make sex actually even better. So, he's good at kissing, more than
else
likely.
can he do?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll probably work out.
It's not a deal breaker for me. And if he wanted to wait, I'm very okay with that.
Okay. Segue right into my next question because I want to talk about waiting. Because we all are familiar with like the 90-day rule, all of the rules, all of the things that the people say. But every time I ask women this question, I get one answer. And then I ask men, I get another answer. I'm like, well, who are y'all having sex with? Or somebody's lying. So I would like to know, obviously every situation is different, right? You might meet a man that you really feeling and maybe it's one day. You meet a man that's and maybe it's 2 months. So I know everybody is not the same. But what would you say on average is your timeline before you're intimate with someone? And this is an everybody question.
It depends on the person for me.
I'm sorry?
It depends on the person for me because it depends how serious we are. Because I could wait 90 days with a person, but that won't be the only person I'm dealing with. Like it's going to be like a casual situation, but if I'm seriously talking to you every day and I think we're going to take this serious, we need to see what's going on.
So is there like if you get to date number 3 and we ain't made no moves, then it's going too slow? Do you have like some timeline in your head?
I would just try and if it don't happen, then I'm like, okay, well, do I want to wait and try again? Or it's not really about sex for me. It's really about the connection. Like sex is just, like the extra plus, like, so it's not that important, but I do want to have sex, but you're not going to tell me I'm waiting 90 days.
So it's the telling part.
Yeah.
If it just happens to be 90 days, it's cool. But if I know that you playing this game, you don't want to be involved. Gotcha.
Yeah, like the Steve Harvey. That was Steve Harvey.
Games.
That came out with
Yeah, something like
The
that. Yeah.
games.
Anybody doing that?
Yeah.
Average time you're waiting.
Go ahead.
All right, so
Uh-oh, here you go. Here you go.
He gonna give us a vehicle.
I ain't got nothing.
Hey, put a hot pocket.
I ain't
in the
got
mic.
no. I ain't got no average. average time. But I'll say the irony is like if I'm actually taking a woman serious, then I want to move. I want to move slower. If not, then it's just like I'll try to expedite the process. But if it like I'm really trying to see and learn this woman and try to find out like do I really appreciate her and like do I really like I'm trying to respect her to the highest level. So if I'm trying to respect her to the highest level, then I'm personally trying to slow things down. Like probably even my phone conversations, I might even intentionally steer away from the sexual stuff just because my goal isn't to hypersexualize her or look at her too much in a sexualized manner. But if it's not that case, then you know I'm on the highway trying to get there because I'm not looking at it from a long-term perspective. But long-term, I'll be moving different.
So what's the timeline?
There's no timeline.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a timeline. I think because I've done both ways. Like when I got married the first time, I was a virgin all the way until I got married.
What? So, you were him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did
Hi.
that.
How old are you?
It's
I'm
you.
36 now.
How old were you when you got first married?
I was 22.
You did it, Justin. Wow.
Yeah.
You did that shit.
So I did. I've experienced like both perspectives, like both sides. What I've learned from is like it's kind of like what we were talking about. I think for me, what's more important now is like having a partner and a friend.
Yeah.
And somebody I can rock with. Mm-hmm. Because if you're gonna be with somebody long term, like at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like sex is sex. You know, like it's levels to it, but. You know, that's not the most important thing because it's probably the easiest thing to get in a relationship. Mm-hmm. The other things are way harder to achieve and to get. So I don't press that or have a timeline for that. Ideally, I mean, I would be mad if somebody was like, I'm gonna wait to marriage, and I would say it to somebody like if I felt like it. You know what I mean?
But would you have sex with other people while she was waiting till marriage?
No, I don't. That's not a driver for me either. Like, you know, I can channel that into like work. And it works very well for me.
Sexual transmutation.
Actually, a lot of times, I've made probably the most money when I do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not mad at it.
Handle that energy.
Yeah.
Allison, what about you?
I don't have a timeline, but I would prefer at this point in life to wait until I get married.
Okay.
Why? You know what Kevin
Wait, did
Samuels
you say
said?
why?
You know what Kevin Samuels said?
What did he say? Tell me. What did he
I
say?
think it was along the lines of you didn't have. How many kids you got? You got one, right? 0?
0.
Oh, okay. Well, how old are you? How much you weigh?
Stop it.
You want a man to wait
Okay.
for marriage.
I'm gonna let you. I don't know where this is going.
I definitely feel like you should definitely
let you go.
He was a virgin.
Well, he waited.
Can I
No,
just
and he
say
said he would
this?
be okay with a woman waiting.
And he said if he wanted
He would
to, he
be
would say
okay, but
it.
he ain't did it.
That's true. Okay,
I feel like you got. I feel like as a guy, you at least got to get a sniff test.
Sniff.
And a
That's fair.
female.
Like
That's what I said.
even if you was like, yo,
that's
I
fair.
wanna wait, I'm like, listen,
I get a
need to-
feel.
I need
I need
to-
to make sure it's
I gotta
working
make
with
sure we right
something.
because I'm not about to go down.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
I
trying
thought
to
that
hide? Like, I need to
answer.
know. Because
You would think somebody trying to hide
yeah,
something.
like what you
Yeah, I
trying?
think
Like, I just
that's
need to
fair.
get. I just need one.
like-
I feel like.
Look
even-
at it too.
I've
Look at
talked
it
to my
and-
friends about
Yeah.
this. Like even like people
I wanna
that
see
wait.
what it look
Like I just
like.
feel like you should just one little swipe and just make
One
sure.
little swipe.
Little quick cross swipe.
That would be crazy. You get all the way to your honeymoon.
Month one, you gotta check month two.
Look, you get all the way to your
Never
honeymoon, and then
heard-
you find out all these things. Like, oh my
Which
god.
is both sides. I think that's a
Allison,
good idea.
defend yourself,
you know? Yeah,
please.
look at it.
So
Or tantric
again,
sex.
Would you
that-
accept the swipe?
That's what I said. What you gonna do if somebody says, let me just swipe you?
So here's the thing, right? So that is like the goal. Oops, sorry, that's the goal, right? To try to wait till you get married. Now, have I had sex before? Absolutely. But that's the goal in my head. Now, is that going to come out to fruition? Maybe not, but like that is the goal. So kind of like Justin, what you were saying prior, like, do I enjoy it? Absolutely. But my number one thing is to like really find a good partner, good friend. Like, I feel like sex is just the icing on the cake. And even though if we both decided to wait till we get married, I do feel like, you know, it's just going to make it that more special. And it's not about like, oh, she's not going to be great or, oh, he's not going to be able to do this. But if you guys have that really great chemistry, I feel like it would work. And if there's something that needs to be taught, like you can teach each other so you can be like that great sexual partner for each other.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
You heard of tantric sex?
The question is.
Oh no, we still got two
Yes.
more timelines I need
I've
to
definitely
get.
heard of that. Timeline. Okay, so for me, there's no specific timeline, but I am in agreement that like at this point, I want to make sure like, because sex is sex, like that's not as hard to do, but having conversation, like, can you stimulate me? Can we be together without us being physically together? So I like to make sure that is intact. I've actually been abstinent now for a while. So if I am going to do that, honey,
Intentionally?
intentionally.
Abstinent?
Absolutely. What did I say? Did I say abstinent?
You said
No,
abstinent.
Yeah.
Abstinent.
Could they be
Yeah,
playing
real
this-
Oh,
playing
yeah.
themselves?
Like, no, I don't do that. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So, no, I have not touched a man. I haven't touched myself, unfortunately. I just don't work for me. It don't work. But, yeah.
There we go.
I
No,
have.
I just wanted clarification because
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
people be meaning different stuff.
Oh
They be
yeah,
lying. What
no,
else do
like
they
no,
mean? They be
no
lying?
stimulations or nothing, and it's no spiritual reason or nothing like that. You know how sometimes I'm on the spirit. It's just I want to wait like now to like it's gonna be the one.
I heard the rose is life changing.
Girl, I can't them things like
don't know.
all
I don't
any
know
of the
how to
little
try it.
toys. It just doesn't. I like
for you?
touching.
Okay,
back to
okay. Your love language.
My love language of spending time, but I'm also one who loves to like I love arms and I like touching.
Physical touch. Gotcha.
Yeah, but we don't have to do it in public, like you know what I'm saying. I don't do all that, but privately. But yeah, so I don't have a time limit on it. But I do want to make sure, like, can we talk? You know, can
What
we
else
have
is there?
Yeah, what else? You know, and because I'm in this space of entrepreneurship, my challenge a lot of times is like my ex, and this is funny too because I did a lot. I've always talked about being single all my life. So I was telling her like I bumped into my ex at one of my favorite restaurants in Houston, and he was on a date. So anyway, so I hit him up like, okay, I see you. And so we started talking again, and I realized the reason why we broke up the first time it wasn't the sex because we had great sex, but he would hate on me. Like my entrepreneurship. Like he would always be like, oh, you know, well, some of us have real jobs and some of us have to go into work. So that has been my biggest challenge. It's never about the sex. So right now, like my first thing is like, let's not try to jump into the bed. Let's make sure that we're even compatible before we go there.
Lifestyle.
Yeah,
That's
the
such
lifestyle
a thing
is
that people
important.
don't consider. You
Yeah.
got a timeline? 90 days? No.
No, I don't. I don't ever come with the timeline, and I think everybody's opinions kind of summed up a lot of mine too. Just making sure that I think it's the experience. You know, your experience with each person is so different. You know, like I mentioned, one person coming to me and saying that they wanted to wait until marriage, and then, you know, you've had some people to where maybe it happens sooner in your timeline with them than it later. You know, whatever. I think it's more like just the experience, the connection. Yeah, I think
And
that's
the
most of
energy. It's like, you know, the vibe
that
or
connection and
whatever.
your experience with that person. Yeah, you might have somebody that just comes and sweeps you off your feet, and you feel like you are just like, whoo, this is everything. Like I'm in love. You know, this is great. And you know, whatever your experiences are, and whatever your conversation are, wherever you're taking it, might lead you to
Something sooner.
Yeah,
First date.
possibly.
But I've heard, I've
not
had
first date.
multiple men in Atlanta
think that's your
specifically
style, right?
that talk about this imaginary like timeline that they have, where
Yeah.
it's literally like if I get to date 3 and
That's
I'm not
childish
fit,
to
I
me.
mean, I think it's
I don't
childish too, but
know.
I wanted to know if this is a common thing. It's like if I get to this number date, basically I'm not spending no more money on you, or I'm not.
I feel like that just depends on where the guy is and where the girl
Financially, where a guy is financially.
Yeah, if I'm not having
that
sex, then
talks like-
this
yeah.
is stopping here. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's that in most cases the man is trying to get sex. I think it's like majority of the women that most men deal with are women that he's just kind of like playing games with. And I'm speaking in very general here, not saying everybody moves that way, but majority of women, it's just like, okay, this is what she's here for, this is the goal, and then he might run across some women that's like, oh, you know what, I really want to see what she's about, like I really want to take her serious. So if he's really in that, I really want to see what she's about, I really want to take her serious, then whether it's 3 dates or 5 dates or maybe 10 dates, if he's in that mode, that's different. But I think that statement is really applicable to when it's, okay, I'm trying to get in there. So we on date 3, I still ain't get in there. All right, well, we're not having date 4 because you never really cared about anything past that for real.
so that should be the red flag for the ladies.
Absolutely.
If it's all about sex, if he's talking about it too soon, or if he's pressing you, then he probably has put you in that category of I'm not really serious about you.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily a red flag. I think that's how it can start.
Us.
And then, because I feel like, because ladies come with timers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I just want
For
you to know.
sex?
marriage.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not dating nobody unless we're gonna be intentional. Well, ma'am, I don't even know you yet. So how about we just take this mill?
Guess there won't be a second date, ma'am.
Find out if I want to be intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I think people operate the way they operate until they run across somebody that makes them change up the track that they've been on.
Gotcha.
And I think every first interaction with a woman, you're just thinking about sex. Like, oh, she look good, and you're not thinking like, okay, I want to have sex with her tonight, but the thought is in the back of your mind, like, I want to have sex with this woman until I get to really know her.
So if a woman has sex with you, is there such thing as a woman having sex with you too soon for you to take her serious?
No.
For me, I'm gonna say no, but the downside to it is, like, say y'all on hard times, or maybe y'all have like a little break or something. You know she moving fast, so like that's something in the back of your mind. It's like, dang, okay, I got in there on the first night, so somebody else might catch us slipping on the first night. Like, it's only been a week, maybe somebody already in there.
It's been 6 first nights,
right? But so if you know it took you a lot of work, and it took you a lot of time and a lot of investing, a lot of energy. You know, you and her might fall on hard times, or y'all might need some separation, and you can still, have some peace in knowing that, all right, well, like, just because we got into an argument on Saturday, she's not gonna be in somebody else's bed on Sunday. Like, it's gonna take a lot more than that. So that's one thing that would be in the back of my mind of, okay, it's not a deal breaker, but I guess gonna be back there.
You know, there's women that play the game of, girl, I found the one, honey, and I ain't gonna give him none for 3 months. So you thinking that she held off, and she over here doing her thing with someone else. So you gotta keep that in mind too, because it's women that do that. They like, I found the one, so I'm going to put
Make him wait,
play the little stupid little games that these books tell you to play, and I'm going to be over here having sex with my jump off. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I fully get that.
Yeah,
but I like to add, I think women mess themselves up that way. Because men can sense it. Man, we can sense when a woman is doing that. Like, we our intuition, the energy, like we really sense it. Like, I mean, you might agree or disagree on that.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
Now, listen,
I can read. I can feel energy. I might not be able to tell if she's having sex. If I'm having sex with her, I can definitely tell if she's having sex with somebody else. It's just something.
No, I mean, like,
she's
she's not having sex with you,
it's
though.
the small
They
things.
can.
It's like,
Really? I don't think they can tell.
What I'm saying is, like, if she's
I don't
holding off
know.
for
I mean, I
you
have a
because
penis
of
either,
the
but I don't think
90-day
they can
wait
tell.
thing, but then because I've actually read books that tell you to do this. They say, well, you know, the one
string
guy that
this
you
one
want to be
along,
with,
yeah,
you string
yeah.
him along, but you still have,
That's
and
bad
that's too
advice.
much work for me.
yeah,
that's
Oh,
good advice.
I think
trust
it's
me,
terrible
I believe it
advice.
is advice. But
I would like to know how you can tell if a woman's having sex with someone else.
I really can't explain it. It's just a feeling that I get.
Do y'all agree?
I
think
agree.
that you're not having sex
That you
with
having
her.
sex with someone else.
That they feel like somebody talking to somebody else. We just feel it.
We have intuition too,
It's an intuition.
and then also, like, men, we're masters at studying body language and like how women carry themselves. It'd be the smallest thing. So you might run across a woman, maybe she's trying to be like maybe uppity or like all uptight with you, but it just might be the smallest thing. Is just like, okay, I recognize that walk. That's not.
What Drake say?
That walk don't match.
Exactly.
This is what you're trying to portray.
Like, so we
did a little side hug.
We can read the body language. We can read like certain aspects of conversation. So we'll run across women who.
I was only saying that because you were saying how if a woman slept with you on the first date, and then if y'all have a breakup, then you feeling like she gonna go sleep with someone else. What if she would have did the game with you and held off for 3 months and you had no idea?
Yeah, but the guy will probably keep going with his rotation too. 9 times out of 10, like he ain't just in the
Cutting it
rotation.
off. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
So my last sex question, I guess.
And then I got one for y'all too.
Oh, look at you. In the spirit of being flued out, whether you're getting flued out or you're doing the flying,
In the spirit.
is sex an expectation with the flying outs?
Depending on the conversation beforehand.
No.
If it wasn't, if we didn't discuss this before I paid for this ticket, then nah, I'm not expecting it at all. But if we were talking about sex this whole time, and when we get down there, it's gonna be this and that, and you come and you flip the switch on me.
Oh well, that should be.
Oh, I'm gonna cancel
If she
tickets.
doing
Matter of fact,
it.
sometimes I just get one-way tickets. You're not gonna play with me.
Dang.
And you're not gonna book the flight back into?
I wouldn't do that. I'm not that
No, that's a lead.
I am not that type of guy. I promise I'm not that type
That's
of guy. But I would do that. Like you playing with me, I play with you.
Oh,
Okay.
But it's not mandatory. You know what I'm
I don't think I would never let
Expectation?
somebody fly me out somewhere to a private location, like just him and I. If we were not intimate. I don't know. I could do it.
If you
I
haven't
wouldn't be
had sex
comfortable.
prior, or if you weren't
Yeah,
planning on having
or
sex.
if we're not planning on it, like I would not.
You think
do
it would
that.
be weird?
Here's the
Yeah,
trick.
I would be uncomfortable
Here's the
unless
trick.
we're sleeping. Like I would fly. I'd rather just fly myself. Like I'll meet you there. I'm not. I don't know. I just don't.
No.
Because I don't know. I just feel like. Yeah, no. I'd rather us just meet locally and do the coffee thing and the dinner thing, and then if
Here's the
he's
trick,
gonna
though.
pay
Here's
for
the
me.
trick. For guys, when you fly a girl out, some guys just be too thirsty for it. If you about to spend 2 or 3 days with me, like, what's the rush? Like, let's just kick it the first day. All right. Second day, maybe the third. You know what I'm saying? We could have sex. But guys, they try to rush that first night, and then they kind of
Like straight
Make
from the
everything
airport,
right.
right?
off.
Dropping
Like,
you
that
back
why you being
off.
so thirsty. So guys they can have sex the first night. You just got to play it cool. Some guys just don't know how to play it cool.
A lot of guys don't know how to play it cool.
Yeah.
Do you think if a guy flies you out, he's expecting to have sex with you?
I hope he does it.
I ain't going on no trip with no.
I mean, I'm not going to go out there. Well, first of all, kind of like what you said, I'm not going to get flued out with a guy if that is not my guy. So,
So you
I've
won't go on
turned
a
down
trip
trips.
date, a date
Yeah.
trip the girls be doing.
Yes, she would.
Turned
Miami
down
Beach
trips
date.
because
All
Yes, she would.
I heard this.
We're going to Bali.
I had a guy I just met.
I just heard.
Listen, Linda, listen. Ain't
I
no
didn't
liars
even- I didn't
here.
even say my answer
I
yet.
can fly myself.
As long as
I'm
you
not
say
trying to
his Lord
get
and Savior is
masculine here,
Jesus, you
but
get on that
I had a
flight.
guy ask me to go to Paris with him, and I just met him. I'm like, bro, and I was not attracted to him. So there was
What
something-
That's the thing. That's the
Oh.
thing. Because if it's the guy that shows up and
Yeah.
he's like looking
Fine.
like the guy, and he says, "Let's go to Paris," you're gonna be like, "Baby,
Hollywood.
let me find his passport."
Now I can see not going to another country.
Right. Leaving the
With
country with a
But
stranger.
like, okay, you can come to Miami or go to LA.
Well,
or-
well,
You gonna
I'm
come.
I'm talking flued out. I mean,
Yes or no for you?
Anyway.
Is it a deal? Is it expectation or no?
When you first said it, remember I was the first one to
say
say
no.
no. I
Yeah.
don't think there's an expectation. Similar to his point, if that's something that you guys talked about, and if it was something that I was uncomfortable with, I wouldn't go. But I mean, I don't think just because a guy is showing interest and saying like, "Hey, let's go here," like, "Hey, let's go here," I don't think that that's necessarily. I don't think that I'm obligated to give up anything. And if I decide to go because we're having a good time or we're dating or whatever, I don't know what other guys think, but I don't think that's a thing that I have to give it up or that I'm obligated to do so. If that's not something that we've done or talked about or
And
whatever
I feel
that
like
is.
even if we talked about it, maybe I changed my mind.
well, I ain't
Yeah.
saying I'm
Or-
obligated.
whatever
I'm
happens
just not
to
gonna
it.
do it.
I'm not
Yeah.
obligated to give
I
you
don't wanna
none
go to
either.
trip.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Hold on,
Men
what?
are
I was
not
just
the
watching
same.
something too. That was like,
for
King,
anything, but the question
you're
is,
worth earning
is
too.
Is it expected? I don't think it is expected. And would I go? Yeah, I have before. Like but it wasn't like a stranger, like somebody that I didn't know, and we just met in the mall. And he was just like, "Yo, I'm going to Miami tomorrow. You know,
Come
pull
with
up.
me."
I got you."
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that type of thing, but you know, whatever.
Did y'all answer? You not flying? Y'all flying ladies out?
I don't
wanna
fly
get
nobody.
you.
out.
We ain't doing no
But
flying
question
out.
is-
Yeah, I don't- yeah.
Me here.
In the past, in your past
what I
life.
will say is I've definitely flown people out, but I typically always start people off with their own room.
Yeah.
That's
You're
a cool.
such
Yeah,
a
that's
respectable
cool.
guy. Just saying,
cool.
it's
That's
not.
cool.
No, it's awesome because like
not
well,
the
I don't know if
average
I'm
guy.
a-
I don't know if
I don't
Right.
know.
We go to
Right,
dinner the
yeah.
first night and it's
But
kind of
see,
off.
different men are different. Like sometimes people.
Like, I like my space.
Every man
I just
is
need
the
to know. You know what I'm
same.
saying? Like I may not
Well, why we
like.
can't just meet locally? Why we got to be flying somewhere?
I mean, I don't know. It's just
sometimes
a
it's
thing
no,
that
I
young
mean,
people are doing.
I don't know.
No.
I'm like
Instagram.
conversations about places.
Oh,
And he's like,
because
have you ever been to
Instagram.
Tequila,
Oh,
Mexico?
okay.
I'm
Oh,
like,
okay,
no.
yeah.
So
I've
as
actually never been.
is everybody here over
invited.
30? Everybody's
Yes.
over 30.
Yeah.
So as we get older, I know for the ladies, we talked about the fear around like not being able to have kids. The conversations come up around, freezing all of the alternatives, all of the things that are possible. And another like alternative kind of lifestyle that people may start to consider is like poly.
I knew you was about
Where
to say
it's
that.
like, this disproportionate amount of amount of women who, this small amount of men. Should we just kind of go back to like the village mindset? And I would love to get your opinions, but I'm going to start with the fellas.
Okay.
Justin, you're going last because I feel like you're prepared for this answer.
No, I'm not actually at all. But
Not
go
you.
ahead.
No.
Justin got a.
I know you
I
ready.
guess, huh?
No, you definitely ready. Go ahead.
I don't even know the question. Hold on. Go ahead.
Poly. We're talking about poly.
Oh.
I'll hop in there. All right, so if we're gonna go back to the tribal way, then we need to look at like why it was done tribally and why it made sense tribally. So you didn't have these women unless you were able to actually take care of them and it was beneficial for y'all as a collective. I think today in today's times, many people just want to do it for the sexual aspect, but they're not looking at, you really should be in a position to be building with these people. Like this is an economic maneuver. This is something to support the family better and support everybody better. So that's my take on it. If you're gonna do it, like from a marriage perspective, not just on a sexual tip, but like if you're talking about like real polygamy of building, the sexual aspect, that's not even at the forefront. That's just that's like an afterthought. That ain't even a real thing. It's like, okay, we're working, we got this person at home watching the children, homeschooling the children. Okay, we got a business over here, so maybe one of the wives are over working this building, this business, and then somebody else is working this business. So like it's creating generational wealth, and you're going further with your legacy that way. But if you're just talking about like, I just want to be having a whole bunch of sex in one house, that ain't where it's at.
It ain't gonna work. I had a situation where I tried poly, and before the poly, I was like, I don't want a relationship. But it was 2 girls that I was dealing with. I let them meet each other. We hung out, and in the course of us being in this situation, it was too much energy for me. Like the women, when they was like, we would go to the club, and I'd be talking to one, and the other one be texting me like, "Well, go be with this bitch then." But I'm like, "Damn, let me go get the other one some time." All right, so we over there to talk with the other girl. Texting me like, "Damn," I'm like, "God, damn, this would just keep happening."
Okay, I don't think that's poly. Is that poly? You just had 2 girlfriends.
Ain't that poly?
No,
I think we're all in a relationship. We all understand each other. I know my role. No, we're not necessarily sleeping together, but this is all a relationship.
Right. No, they hung out and everything, but without me. They were friends.
Yes, you.
But then why were they there? I mean, I don't know.
But it was just the attention that I was giving one that the other one wasn't getting. So it wasn't a problem with them two. It was just a problem with me. Like they would still hang out after that. They would talk, but the text is for me. Like somebody wanted to win. One wanted more time and energy. And I figured, like, you know what? It's not that I don't want a poly relationship. I don't want a girlfriend, period. I don't even want to deal with this energy of dealing with women right now.
I think it's hard for it to work in our context just because of how we've been socialized. Like we've been socialized to view people as something that we possess, and it's like it's solely mine. And so it's hard for us to break out of that and have a different perspective on it. Though I would like to throw into the air of most, I won't say most, but a large population of black communities are practicing polygamy. It's just in a dysfunctional manner. So like many women would rather share a baby father than to go and have a functional relationship with one man that has multiple wives. So it's already being done, but this man got 2 households. He spending money over here, he's spending money over there. You got to drop your daughter off to the other daughter birthday party. You hanging out at the baby mama's at the birthday party. Like, it's a form of polygamy. It's just a dysfunctional form of it.
It's non-ethical. Because polygamy is supposed to be ethical non-monogamy. It's like we're not monogamous, but everybody knows about it. We're all on the same page. Everybody knows what they're doing.
You may know, like this person might have 2 or 3 baby mamas. They may all know that this man like has these children.
But he's not supposed to be sleeping with them.
I agree with you there.
Right,
I mean,
that part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the non-ethical part. Because like, I know you got a kid with her, but I ain't know you was still practicing making more kids with her. That's a different thing. Justin, what about you? You going for it or no?
I think I'm gonna stay out of this one.
You don't touch that one?
Yeah, look, here's my thoughts. Like, I think we were all created one way, and I don't necessarily think that desire has changed in men, because it's been like that since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. But I do agree that like the way that the world and society is, it makes it wouldn't be possible today anyway. I think it's just, I mean, not impossible, but like for the society, like it's just too much between social media, what people say, and like, girl, you gonna let him, there's just gonna be too much stuff. Like people deal with that in regular relationships. So to bring in 2 people and then like, I think it would be too much. I'd rather just find one person that got some peace and then we just explore life together and figure out a couple of situations and keep it moving.
And then people always try to bring up like biology. Like, okay, we got so many sperm cells, and then women only get 1 egg, and then they try to bring up history. Africa, back in the times, like kings had this, and but it's different times right now, and it's not the same situation. These men would have these women, and these women would be taken care of, the family would be taken care of. These guys had enough money to do so. These guys, they're broke. They live with their mama trying to do this.
One of the couples on the show, the man stay home and the wives go to work. I said, he got it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Huh?
No, you figured it out.
That was
The
the
black guy with,
It was the
with
black
the white
guy with
wives.
the-
No,
Nothing wrong with that.
I wasn't mad at it. When
I'm not mad
when
at
I
it.
seen the brother, I was
I ain't
like,
mad
okay.
at it,
He
but
was
I'm like, is
cheesy
this
too.
the way
Big
it's supposed
pimpin',
to
yeah,
work?
I
I wasn't mad at it.
However, now they have the new show Seeking Brother Husbands. So would y'all be down with that kind of poly?
Doesn't look
brother
like
husband?
any of us would.
You never know.
I'll probably catch some flack for this, but I think beta men are more open to going for that. But I don't think you're gonna have. I don't think you're gonna have. I think you're not gonna have alpha males that are gonna be willing to.
Oh, you said beta.
Beta men are gonna be more willing to go for that. Like, but as far as like the type of men that most women actually desire, you know, assertive leader, one who's, you know, just the type of men that women actually want. I don't think that those men would collectively be in the same space in a functional way. I don't see that. But as far as like, you know, more submissive men, or you know, more men who they're not so much concerned about domination or the power structure or being in a leadership role, all that stuff, I believe it could work for them.
It's not for y'all. Ladies, what y'all think? Could you be a sister wife? Could you have a brother husband?
No, it's just too much. Like, kind of like what he was saying, it's just too much energy. Like, who has time and energy for all of this? Like, I feel like having one partner is hard enough. So why have 2 or 3 more and to just make it harder? Like, it just make sense. So.
I feel like if this was something that we were supposed to do, then why would God give us the spirit of jealousy or the spirit of like, why would he give us the spirit? Like, why would this be incorporated into us as females? I saw a lady the other day, a Muslim lady, and she was talking about women, you guys need to get on the page, and she was like smiling and she looked like she was programmed, and I was like, girl, blink 3 times. I was just joking. But in certain cultures, that is the program, right? So it is what it is. But with me, I've been taught a certain way and to believe a certain way that you have one. Yes, programming. I've been programmed, but I've also been given this spirit of jealousy.
That's programming.
And so it's programming. Absolutely, it's okay.
That's not the spirit though. That's programming.
but God does gives us the ability to feel, though, right?
Of course.
Okay. All right. So I just don't believe in, like, if he would give this to us, then why would that be okay for me? So it's not okay for me. So no, I do not believe in it. But there are other cultures who it works for them because that's how they are programmed. So, I mean, I guess if you want to go back, you know, because they say like our ancestors, this is what they did. Yeah, that's how they were taught. You know, what I saw and what I was taught.
Would it be less single women if that was a possibility, though?
Would it be less single
Of
women?
course.
It would.
Yeah,
It
sure.
would save the world.
Would it be less children that are not taken care of?
For sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's literally the village.
Well, we just solved the issue of the world.
Well, let's check this out.
But I think because of the way that we were brought up, it won't
Because
work for
logically
us.
it makes sense.
It
Y'all
makes
three,
sense.
Emotionally,
come with me.
it's a hell no.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work for us.
It wouldn't work. What you
Yeah.
got to say, girl? Because you sitting on it. It's like right here, like about to come out of your
I
mouth.
mean, yeah, because I always end up being the last one, so I'm listening to what everybody else is saying. But I was gonna bring up a little bit about what you brought up. But the answer is no for me. Just for me personally, that's not something that I'm interested in. I don't really see the benefit in that. I hear what everybody's saying about how it used to be, and you know how if it goes correctly, that's how it would go. And then I think maybe your example of how people are doing it, but not the right way or whatever. But like you, dysfunctional, and yeah, they're not even supposed to be sleeping with the baby mama, but they are, and they end up doing. So that's a whole nother different thing. No one's really taking care of the stuff that's supposed to be taken care of, but. It's always about poly with, you know, multiple wives and one man, and no one ever brings up, you know, okay, well, what if it's
multiple husbands?
Yeah, multiple husbands and one wife, or 2 wives
Could you do that?
and multiple. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't necessarily see the benefit in having that either. But I'm just saying it's always brought up with multiple women and one
I like
man.
the way that you asked that.
You
You
know?
down with that? I don't know. But to your point, that's exactly what I see. That's what my perception of the men on the show at least is. It's like the woman is the dominant one, and then the men are just kind of like subservient.
What
to her.
show is this?
Seeking Brother Husband. So it's like the sister wife show, but it's the woman and then multiple men.
Oh, really?
It's a thing.
I've
yes.
never even heard of
Girl, you gotta
either one
watch
of
it.
those
It's
shows.
it's interesting, but all of the couples that I've seen on the show, it started because the wife cheated.
Really?
And then the man was basically like, I don't want to lose you. Let's just get a brother
What
husband.
type of man is going for that?
Exactly. That's
Is
what I
she-
said. You
was
were
she the
right. The beta
breadwinner?
male.
Like she made the money? Yeah, definitely. Beta.
I don't.
Like she was the one.
You gotta
making
watch
the
it.
money?
It is.
That's so
It's so
interesting. I didn't
intriguing.
know
It's
about
such
that.
an intriguing topic.
I want to say one more thing on it. For the state of Black America, especially with the largest prison system in the history of mankind, and and so many black men been locked away, and there also been such a minority of men that are actually in a financial position to take care of families. If we were socialized differently, polygamy, if done in a healthy way, could actually be something very helpful and progressive for us. Because if you have this minority of men who are actually able to take care of multiple women or multiple families or multiple children, but just the way that we're culturally moving is that we're expecting for this man to only deal with one woman and one set of children, I think that could be hurting us, because there's all these homes that have all these single mothers, and then we're so close to the idea of a man that's in a position to take care of these people and these children well, not doing so in a formal manner, that we push it away and we suffer.
Well,
The other side of that is you could just go back to how stuff is the way it was designed and just wait till you get married and
To have children.
not have sex. And
Wait.
I mean, like, because sometimes I think sometimes we do in this world is like we're creating a problem and then we're making a solution that's something else, and it's like, really,
We're just
the
adding on
issue
to it.
is we just wilding out a little
Let's
too
just
early,
identify the
and
problem.
'Cause
not
yeah.
practicing safe sex. You're not doing stuff the way that, probably the most people, when they look back, they probably would have done stuff a little different if they have multiple kids with multiple people. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
I've
okay,
never heard anybody say, "Yeah, I would do that again."
right.
I've never heard anybody.
No, I would have waited.
Like, I love that baby, but no, I would not have.
Yeah.
So,
it's a
but
thing.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also think the other side is like, yo,
Like
maybe
we
we
were
should
to-
chill out.
But we're working women too, though. So we're not in a state of where then when the men were the ones who provided the financial gain. So women are doing that too. So we don't need a man to take care of us
That's
in
taught
that
too, though.
way, huh?
That's taught too, though, because
that was taught,
that
as
was
you're
taught.
saying, okay.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
because
Oh.
most
I can
most
talk
people
about that too.
have
That's
that mentality
definitely
come from the previous generation where there were some women that didn't want to be there. It's like, girl, you gonna get your own money, so you ain't gotta stay here.
Let me tell you,
I'm stuck.
my mom taught me that,
Yeah,
and so
that's-
that
Most
has
of our mothers.
and honestly, at this age, I've had to come to the understanding that is what kept me in my 20s. I was never settling down. I was not because I'll never forget. I was a young girl, and she told me, Taria, don't ever depend on a man.
Now we're
But
getting
then
to the
she learned from her mother, who was the submissive wife, who had a husband, who had all these children on, like my granddaddy had kids all through Conway. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Oh, Conway, y'all ain't like, okay, but but my granddaddy did. Like, he had children all over the place. And so you go from watching your grandparents, where your grandparents, she was the submissive wife, did not work, he took care of the household, to then the parents then said, I ain't living that life. And then they're teaching their children, my mom teaching me, never depend on a man.
How to avoid what I just had to experience.
Exactly.
Do
So
the
now
opposite
we-
of what I did.
Right. So now we become women who are independent, which that's why I always say we have to learn to have grace, especially with our age range, because we are getting into that space where we were taught to only depend on you. So now as an older woman, I've had to learn how to kind of put myself in this space of having, because I like an alpha male and I am an alpha female. I like a man that runs things. And so I've had to learn how to be in that space of understanding the way that his mind thinks. But let's be honest, when we talk about a man coming in and having to take care of the household, he don't have to take care of my household.
Understood.
But I'm gonna let him.
Check this out, though.
Is that making sense? I hope I'm making
but
sense, right?
The emphasis on independence is the backlash of being in a dependent state and also seeing the grandparents being in such a dependent state. And what messes us up is we put this emphasis on and this pride on independence.
Well, I'm not saying a pride,
Okay,
but yeah.
we tend to stop at that level of independence. But the highest level of effectiveness is interdependence. It's where you're strong enough and you're capable enough to be independent. And you have to achieve that level to get to a state of interdependence. And so if this person starts slacking, or they start trying to take advantage of you, or they get abusive, or whatever it is, you're always able to step back and say, I can do this on my own. I don't have to be here. But the two of you are able to get things done, learning to depend on one another. Mm-hmm. So
another great question that dear old Kevin used to ask is, were you raised to be a wife, or were you raised to be independent? Yep. And the majority of black women were raised to be independent. So now we get to 30 plus and we're trying to peel back the layers to become a soft, feminine, peaceful woman that these masculine men want. And it's like foreign territory for us. And so I think that's definitely a big part in the breakdown.
Having some grace on that if you're willing to, you know. And
I think
some men don't.
Yeah, it's also like a lot, and I think people do this in life in general. They just pull the wrong lesson out of situations. Like what that generation took from us, like, girl, learn how to be independent.
Yeah.
But now in retrospect, that probably wasn't the right lesson.
Let's work
to
on
take from that.
relationships. Yeah,
It definitely wasn't. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, but a lot of them felt stuck because they felt like money was the only thing. But then guess what? You got more women right now that have more money and they still
Unhappy.
That part.
money wasn't the solution to it.
Facts.
So now what was it?
Because we didn't identify the true problem, so we couldn't get the real
Exactly.
solution. Okay, speaking of solutions, we're going to end the show with a solution for all of my singles. Not you, Justin. For all of my singles, this is your chance to shoot your shot, because you never know who is going to see this on the World Wide Web, and we are all being intentional
Oh, Lord.
for husbands and wives.
People do shoot.
So the shoot your shot is literally, it's just you sharing what it is that you are putting out into the world, speaking it into existence for your. We only shoot shots to black men though. On the, I'm just.
You didn't answer that question.
Oh Lord!
Why you didn't answer that question that
Multi-race.
About white women?
Oh, just
I wasn't
outside the race.
outside the race?
I wasn't interested in your answers.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to answer that.
So you wanna
I'm
hear
sure you
that?
did. No, I didn't want to hear that. Black women only. Okay, let's let you go first. Where's her camera?
Hold up. What we got to
Right
do?
here? You're just sharing. You're shooting your shot.
Oh.
I'm looking for a yada yada yada.
Oh.
Holla at your girl. They're gonna find you.
I'm
Watch.
not first. I'm not
Watch.
first.
You're not first.
Right.
No, she put it to you.
But the camera was on you.
Lord Jesus. No.
Kind of put it on somebody.
I
Let
go
me go.
first.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. We'll let the fellas go.
You know what?
I
Yeah.
was okay. Well, you got the camera. Oh, you
Look his shot.
Where's the
What's
camera?
up, YouTube?
To the
Yeah,
world.
Yes,
To your
yeah,
wife.
world. Listen, I'm single, and I'm uninterested. Don't hit my DMs. I don't want to date. I am good. Please, thank you. I already got my DMs are full. My text messages are full. My phone calls are full. I'm good.
I cannot stand you. You said so
do
very
not.
super single, but you want to stay that way.
Yeah, this is how I
All
make the
right, living
content
my
I can.
life.
Because if I
Living my
get in a
life.
relationship,
It'd be hard to
It's,
make that
it's over
content.
with.
yeah,
Okay.
Dang.
Hey Nina.
I'm good.
Okay.
Hey, I don't know.
But I will
For
for
money.
y'all three.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm Nina, and if you've been listening, then you heard a lot, and yeah, that's it. Shoot your shot.
Okay.
your shot.
The ball's in your court, fellas.
What kind of man you want?
Well, I like somebody that is honest, that is a good moral compass, and just kind of knows who he is, secure in who you are. That means you know who you are. That means that you probably know what you want. And if you're watching this and you heard something, then you might get a little tingle. So
Come on, Tingle.
A little
Can you
tingle.
make less than $50,000 a year?
Ooh.
Too long of a pause.
Well, sometimes I like to think about my answer before I just respond, unprepared. But I think at the end of the day, finances are discussed, between people that are interested in each other. And most importantly, I have been up, down, in between, left, right, bottom, top, whatever. And I'm still not to the top not the top, it's the top and the highest of where I want to go. So, I think anything's possible. You could build, we could be
Did she
at
answer the
50,000.
question?
That's a real roundabout way of saying maybe.
No.
If it's for the right
Yes.
guy, maybe.
She need over 50K.
So for the
Okay.
right
All
guy,
right.
Oh, yes, or under
For the right
50K.
guy.
Oh, so you
Bring
can make
something
less.
more than money.
You can make less than
yes.
50,000.
Yes, possibly, because you know what?
Yes, no.
But I think the end goal, what I was trying to get at by saying that there's a possibility for maybe the right guy is to get it up. You know what I mean?
But
For
it'd be the
all of us to get
destination.
it up.
But I feel like
that's
see,
not.
I feel like
I
that's
don't
the
want
thing,
somebody
though.
to be
It's
stuck
like,
there
he could
or to
make
be
more, but if
complacent
he-
there.
Everybody
Everybody
has
What if he just want to do what he doing? He just wants. He's a
good
teacher.
at where he at.
And he loves what he's doing, and he ain't going. He's not trying.
He don't
want
wanna
to
get no side
He's not trying
hustle.
to get no nothing. I'm just gonna be a teacher.
I mean, possibly.
To
That's
make
never. I don't know. I'm
27,000.
not in that situation, but I do know from being a former public school teacher that there are different ways that we can up that salary. You know what I mean? Let's get your degree in this. Let's get you certified in this. How many years have you been here? Let's go to this school system. If that's something that he's
I'm
interested
40
in.
years old. I don't want to do
You
all that
can-
no more.
you know,
I
I
am
don't
comfortable
know.
with my job.
You never know. And he would have the same job. When I was teaching, I mean, the way that you made more was You had more certifications. You had more degrees. You had more years. And then what school system were you with? It was a drastic difference.
You gonna get them together. She gonna get them together.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah,
saying.
you know
that
what I
means
mean?
no,
Right.
you can't.
No,
but
it's
if you're
not.
there, she be willing
might
to work
work
with
with
you.
it. We might work with it.
Good.
Shout out to the blue collar
Shoot your shot,
workers,
girl.
police officers, because
You
man,
ready?
they got to be hard for these guys.
Okay,
Why
where we
is
at?
it hard?
Right.
Maybe we want to get a vacation home
I would
somewhere
prefer
else
somebody
that's
hook
not
me up
here,
with
and
someone.
then to
I don't
do
want
that, we
nobody
might be
DMing
some
me.
more
Are you
income.
doing
Would you be
hookups?
open to that?
Yeah, I
Then
want
I'll be open
somebody to
that.
hook me
So
up.
somebody might see this and they
Okay.
have a friend and they hook you up.
Okay, yeah, because Jeffro, no offense, no, I'm playing. His name could be Jeffro.
Jeffro might be
fine. He might
typing right now.
Yeah, type. No, he. No,
live
but
chat.
no. So I mean, honestly, I have found that sliding in my DMs, I haven't really had anybody to like hit me up that's been attractive. So I feel like in the space that I am, I would prefer someone introduce me to someone. So yes, he does need to make a certain level of income. Doesn't need to be a millionaire.
What's the level?
I mean,
Yeah, what level we talking about?
listen, because I love alpha men. And so this has been the biggest challenge because I've made a decent income in my life. I've not made $1 million, but I've made a good amount. And most men that are alpha are not going to be okay with dating a woman. Well, he'll never know because I don't throw money and I'm not a material girl like that, but he'll know. So like it's just different conversations that you have with people. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. You have different conversations. When you're used to making a certain amount of income, you talk about different things. You eat at different places. Like I like to eat at certain restaurants where just on a lunch we might spend $100 by myself. So, I would need someone that could kind of, be able to deal with that.
What's the number to deal with that?
Cause that's so funny, girl. It's so fun. I was just sitting with my girl the other day. Like,
If
what's
you got
the number?
If you got the
I
money,
would say about
what's the issue?
100,000 is
About 100,000.
I feel like 100,000 would be a,
That's decent. That's the starting level.
that could be a starting level.
Okay.
Yeah. I would prefer him not do like be in the same space as I am though, as far as entrepreneurship, like do the same exact thing. But he could be a corporate guy, but I do like to travel. So I want to travel the world. I like passport stamped. Now, when we talk about outside of all of that, definitely a guy that, doesn't mind having a conversation. So I love to talk with my man. It's so funny because I'm not a big phone person unless it's with my man. So I do like to have conversations, but not like it's my girlfriend, but, conversations about elevation and growth. I am a believer in Jesus Christ, but I feel like I'm open to learn more. Shucks. I believe we came from Egypt and stuff like that too. So I like to explore religion. So I like a man that wants me to kind of expand and grow in that space as well. And chocolate.
And I just ate the chocolate.
We'll finish it off with that.
Chocolate.
A little chocolate. That's
latte.
it. But send me someone though.
Come
Do you
on.
think it's gonna be hard for you to get this man?
Yeah, and guess what? First of all, it's only one man. It's 8 billion people. And if it happens 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the ultimate thing that I have to understand, Taria, are you happy with your life? And I'm happy. And so I get judged a lot. Oh, you 42, you must be crazy. Something is wrong with you. It has
Why you not married yet?
Why are you not married? Well, I did get with someone who I thought I was going to marry. And that crushed me. And it took me a long time to get back to the space of just being like in love with me. And so if it doesn't happen, because some people say, Taria, you got this list. What if you never get? Okay, well, we'll be good. We'll be good. It's 8 billion people. I'll find them. And when I do, I will.
Since,
When I do, I will.
He'll find you.
since you have the business acumen,
Yes, sir.
if you found a man that had all these other great qualities, but he was lacking in that area,
In
would
the
you-
income?
in the income, but that's your strong point. Would you be willing to
Oh, yeah.
help him strengthen in that area?
So yeah, so that's why I'm very careful about the 100,000. But like, if a guy is super ambitious and but see, the challenge that I've had with alpha men, they don't want to listen. They're not going to listen to me, and I don't want to coach him. Like, I don't want to coach. I don't want to be my man's coach. You know what I mean?
Understood.
But if I do meet a guy that is in a position where I don't know. I mean, because I've dated a guy where we'll be like, well, where you want to go eat? Well, let's go run over to Joey's real quick.
You're not going to Joey's. You're not going to Joey's.
He's
like
not
Joey's
going.
by the Galleria?
Yeah, that's my spot.
Oh, that's a real place.
No, it's
I
a real
thought
restaurant.
Oh, okay, got
Is that
it.
the same Joe's
that's
in
what
LA?
No, the one that.
Yes,
oh,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
the same.
Oh,
it's the same.
I
Let's
like
go to
Joey's.
Joey's real quick. To me, that's
This
just
is
a quick little.
This is a
and I'm gonna
nice
spend-
restaurant.
Okay.
I'm not familiar,
It's
but
not even expensive, but for
Okay.
some people they
From
might.
Post Oak to Joey's,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But if he's like uncomfortable with that, then it's gonna make me feel like I've had guys where they say, "Well, where you want to eat?" I don't even want to tell you because then
you don't
want to.
you don't want to change your lifestyle.
I'm not
based
gonna
on
change my
somebody else's.
lifestyle.
But if
I've
you
worked
still got
hard.
the money, you wouldn't change your lifestyle. You
Well,
know
no,
what
but
I'm
now she
saying?
got to pay for him down at Joey's.
But now I thought we was talking about having a teammate.
Yeah.
You got the money.
So I'm supposed to pay for him? You
Why
want-
not?
Oh,
Why not?
listen, that's like having a child.
It's only money.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
It's
when I
only
got the money, it's like I got a child. What's the difference?
No, I mean, well, yeah, you're right. We can split
she
it.
said
but
she wants an alpha
Split
though.
it.
That I think is
but that's
Listen,
that was
alpha,
the
alpha
problem.
does
Let
not
her
have to
pay
do
for
with money.
everything.
No,
Alpha-
exactly, because I dated one, and guess what he did all the time? Threw it at me like, oh, well, some of us got to work. I got a
That wasn't
business.
alpha. He was
Nah,
an insecure
nah,
alpha.
He was an insecure alpha,
yeah,
though.
He was.
You know, what you sell, drugs? He would say
So
stuff
a
like that.
secure
Just
man.
disrespectful.
He was
That,
insecure
you
as
didn't
hell.
put that on
So
your
that's
list.
secure.
Yes,
Yes,
that has to be
secure
on the list.
alpha male.
Yes, a secure
And
alpha.
but he's gotta have some income. He would tell me things though, because like we would go to eat, and he wasn't making. He might at the time. Now let me tell you this. At the time, he probably was making 30,000-40,000. By the time like we broke up, he was almost at 100,000 on his corporate job. Like he was really working. He would tell me things like, thank you so much for not like trying to like play me and let me pay for dinner or whatever, you know, like thank you for doing that for me. Like,
Wait.
I didn't know why he would say that, and I don't know where that came from.
I'm sorry, hold on. Something got
I
jumbled
know
in my
he's
head
supposed
when
to be
you said
closing
that.
out. Lord
you
Jesus.
said he would say, "Don't play
No,
me by making me."
No,
pay for
thank you for not playing me. Like, you know how some women that are making money, they're like, I got it. I could pay for it.
Oh,
I
but
got
you paying for dinner.
I would
Okay,
let
okay,
him
like belittle him,
lead.
like-
Yeah,
Got
I would
you,
never
got you,
belittle my,
okay,
my
okay.
man like that. Yeah.
But
Allison,
would
you
you
gotta
let him
get,
lead and then you pay for it? She said, mm-hmm.
You got a good list? You
Let
ready?
him lead and me pay for it.
Sure.
I got something to say about
Hi
this.
guys. The guy that finds me has found a good thing. So I'll say that for one. Two, it's preferable that you're here in Atlanta because I really don't do long distance dating. And long distance mean like if you live in Marietta, Duluth,
Damn.
Dang.
Metro Atlanta.
That's long distance.
Inside the perimeter,
Be
please.
Inside the
303,
perimeter, unless
303
you're really
area.
outside. Like it could be like a Sandy Springs or something like that. But I'm just saying, like I'm not really a traveler, like going back and forth. So, I do prefer an alpha male because if he's not an alpha male, I will try to run over you. Communication is really big for me, so I need a guy that can communicate. We can communicate easily. Definitely mature communication, open communication. What else, guys? Help me out.
I think that's good. You were very specific. He needs to live within this zip code.
Well, okay.
Christian?
Wait, hold on. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
part too. I need you
Does
to
he
love
need to go to
God.
church?
No, he doesn't.
It's
I mean,
getting
I don't.
slimmer and slimmer. It's like we always stay in the proximity.
Wait a minute now.
Christian.
Yeah, she's being specific.
She's on alpha.
If she's running the Facebook ad.
8
You gotta
million
run
people.
250,000
Targeting. She was targeting her man.
Okay, let me just.
She won't.
So he does not have to go to church. I don't go to church, but I do watch church online though. And then as far as the Atlanta thing, that's just my preference. Now, if you want to flew me out and flew me out often, I'm here for it. But
To Duluth?
I mean, no, not to Duluth, but
The regional. The regional airport.
You can't make this shit up.
but I mean, but
fuck
okay,
with
I
you.
live downtown.
Okay.
Duluth is far.
I live Midtown.
You think Duluth is far?
I'm in the
Well, look
In the
at
perimeter.
that.
Look at them go. But he say absolutely not.
said
so,
stay away from
no,
him.
He don't
He's
want,
not-
don't
yeah.
get out his DMs.
No, I'll be ready in like 6 months though.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
in 6 months.
So in the meantime, we can figure each other out.
Oh, Lord.
Got it. Cool.
You're shooting your shot live. That's a different
Come on.
concept. Okay, he's really going for it.
Why not?
But other than that, the guys that are watching, the guys that are here, if you know of any good guys that you can connect
Yes,
me
put
with,
me on.
network with me,
Just-
Right.
please.
What at?
Because I would love to meet
These
more
answers
people.
is-
I need
it
to
took
get
away
out
people
more
that I do is
'cause
y'all
I
start
really
saying
don't
stuff.
get out enough and date enough. So I call this tonight. So just get myself out there. As you guys saw earlier, I was really nervous because this is not my jam.
Couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell? Okay.
No, you did great.
Are you on a date now?
Good.
So I was, and then I got off because it's just too much.
It's too
so much
overwhelming.
work.
It's a lot,
Man.
and I don't have time or the energy. So.
It is a lot, but it's options.
So it's options, and I will say I've met some really great guys when I was on the app.
See?
However, I just feel like it just got to be a little too much, and now I prefer to like network. So say, oh, if you have somebody, like let me hook you up, like go out for coffee, or if you guys have a good friend and you think like, hey, you should really meet.
You want somebody to have a stamp of approval on this person, not just a stranger off the internet.
I mean, I've done both. Like I met strangers, and now we're cool people. But I can do either or. But it's nice to have someone that knows someone, so you can like ask, just some
verify,
whatever.
Justin, you should have shot. You said you dating. I don't know. If
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not shooting a shot. But what I would say is, I tell all my girlfriends, that I just think, more ladies just got to be a little bit more flexible these days. Just like, sometimes you date the person that's like the opposite of what you normally like. People that's...
I did that.
Yeah, but you got to just keep doing it. Because you've done it more times doing it the other way. Because I ain't going to lie, man. It's like, y'all ever been like hotel shopping? Watch this.
Okay.
And then, you know what I'm saying? You go buy like the $1, like, like they got different levels. And the more checks you take off, it's like you only left with so much.
Yeah,
And
but what if you get to the point where you got all the way to the right and you can't go all the way to that?
That's what I'm saying. You got to be flexible.
I do think a lot of times single ladies will end with this little piece of advice. I think a lot of times that your type is what's keeping you single.
Okay, Kevin.
To Justin's point, I think that when you are willing to try something new, because a lot of times the type is that thing that is like, it's the bad boy thing. It's probably what you were talking about when you're talking about the old Atlanta, what I was looking for then, I was finding it. You was probably finding a whole lot of it. But then when it starts to change.
Too.
No, that's what I'm saying. So when you start to evolve, then the options get slimmer because you're looking for something more. You're not just out here looking for the fun thing. And usually our type is like the fun, exciting, the bad boy. And the bad boy don't make a good husband.
I don't have a type anymore.
No, not you.
I was the only one who was like, I'm open.
You're open. They not open though. They not open. Their list is getting like this. So if your list, whatever that list might be, seems like it's not leading you anywhere, number one, make sure you match your list. But then number two, make sure that you're being open, because my type was always the man that's gonna treat me right. Like, I love who loves me. I'm not about to chase nobody. I'm not about to allow anyone to disrespect me.
Right.
And I want to be loved properly, which we all desire and we deserve.
Absolutely.
So,
Right,
thank
you should
y'all
be looking for love, not the money.
Yeah, the money is what I'm keep hearing.
Love.
But
how
y'all
he
know,
treats you.
like, cut it out.
Cut it out
Because y'all know that when you ask a person, what is your type, that's what you're looking for us to answer. And yes, I'm sorry, a person that can love me to death, but if he cannot live the lifestyle that I'm living, then no, I'm sorry.
But can you just piggyback on your lifestyle you already living, because you already living it?
I would remember what I told you when I said, if I do not find him, Taria is okay.
You be good by yourself. You rather be by, okay, gotcha.
Yes,
gotcha.
And so I'm not, and I don't walk around with that shield. I could do bad by myself because I don't believe that. But I'm not going to sacrifice my livelihood and my happiness and get into a relationship where ultimately I'll end up divorced because I am not happy with this person.
Because they don't make enough money.
No, I didn't say it was about money.
I say it was the
But I
lifestyle.
would like, yes,
I get you money. Like, if I can't
But-
afford it, then there's no lifestyle.
But 9 times out of 10, if you have the right,
It's
qualities, you're gonna probably earn more money
if you're
being
living,
in the right
if you're living
relationship.
good by yourself, if you could do all this by
They said the
yourself, and
show's
then
never
now
like-
you have an addition in your life now, which is the man. You could do it by yourself anyway. This man is not a crutch. Is that the right word?
right.
That he's not stopping you from living your life.
Okay,
he just can't live the lifestyle now. If you're
right,
making
so
the
we
money,
can't go to eat because he can't afford it.
why can't you? You've
So
been
I
going to
have
eat by
to pay-
yourself
but
anyway.
now-
it's this.
So now
What you
I
gonna do
have
with
to
your
pay
money?
double?
Double?
No.
I think
I'm
women-
not looking to bring on a person that every time we go out, now I have to pay for everything
We
because
ain't
we
saying
don't
the
have
man
it.
broke now. We ain't saying the man
I
broke.
think,
What are you
I think
saying?
women who make a lot of money are having a hard time dating because, like, okay,
Yeah, I didn't say we did it.
I'm saying when you make a lot of money, like you're doing extremely well professionally, like professionalism, like
I know
business
we're
is a
supposed to be
masculine sport. Business is a masculine sport. Whether you're a feminine woman or a masculine man, feminine man, business is a masculine realm. So when you're succeeding in that to a high capacity, you're having success in a masculine way that like traditionally men are having success in. So,
Yes.
but so women will succeed in this masculine realm, but they will still try to find happiness and love in traditional feminine ways. The man that's succeeding in that masculine realm, he's a high earner. He got that piece down. He's looking for this other person who can sharpen him, who can maybe cover those other areas that he's not so good at. But like for women, they get to that spot. They don't do what the man does in that spot. They do what a woman would do traditionally, which is look for a man that can either match that or go higher than it, thinking that that's the only way that she can level up, when like the man knows that he can level up by having a woman that covers those areas that he's missing, even though he's got that part covered.
I dated a man who made less money than me, and I told y'all that. And we dated for a year, but he constantly felt uncomfortable.
No, he was insecure.
Insecure. So
but
now can I find now if God would send me a secure man
with no money,
maybe not no money.
Okay, with a little bit of money.
You got that.
Here's what I would say though. Like
Yeah.
what comes with that though is like, okay, like I have friends that do really well, and I have friends that just they live a regular lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm inviting them to is two totally different things. Like I'm not gonna be like, yo, y'all want to go to Dubai?
Right.
Or y'all want to go to so like if you getting a guy like that and you constantly like, yo, let's go to this 5-star restaurant, let's go to this place. It's like, bro, I could pay for maybe one of them, but like you want to do this every weekend? Like
It's a different lifestyle. That's
now I'm
different
get put in now a guy could be put in a situation where it's like, yo, I can't really do what you want me to do. So internally, a guy can get frustrated, like, bro, I done already told you what I make, and you keep asking me to go to these places.
Right.
You know I can't.
Or that starts exposing the insecurity.
So right.
Or is that not being aware of who you're with?
Right.
Well, facts.
Because
But yeah,
it's like you keep inviting your friends'
that.
places, like every time I come, they ain't got enough money. Well,
You
choose a
should
different
invite
place.
them
I get the dilemma though. Like I get it.
Choose a
It's
different
tough.
place or choose different what?
Friends, yeah.
Okay. Well, and not choose different friends. I mean,
But yeah.
but it
choose
is
different friends to go here with, because it's not the place for these friends.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I do feel like if ladies adjusted on that part, there actually would probably be less people single. Because the other thing is, there's some women that have experienced certain things in relationships,
And you can't go
and it's
back.
like, yo, oh, that's it. That is all I can do. It's like, but that was an anomaly in your life.
Yeah.
And
Like,
that
that
didn't work
wouldn't
out
even-
either. So
And it didn't work out. I'm not looking for nobody on private jets. In fact, I don't care about cars.
I'm just challenging.
jewels
I
or
do
none
this
of
with my
that.
friends. Like
right.
this, like, and I even tell someone like sometimes shoot your shot. Like you
Yeah.
was talking about, like sometimes you just got to do the uncomfortable to see, like, because you already know it's been working for you up until this point. Like you said, everybody's over 30, so we've been operating this way for how long?
try something new. It's time to try something new. This show was something new, y'all. 100th
Yay.
episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Congratulations.
Don't play with it.
I
It's the
appreciate
big deal.
y'all. I
We
hope
enjoyed
y'all
it. This was fun.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll keep
They
going.
need to have
more
more
conversations.
And comment below. Shoot y'all shots back, okay? Because we got some eligible ladies. I guess not the fellas, but we got some
they don't
eligible
want that.
ladies. Okay, send me a DM if you want me to hook y'all up. Okay, I'm gonna be a matchmaker. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for being here. Another
for having us.
episode of Girl Stop Playin. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. And take it a step further and go ahead and join our private community over on Patreon, because it comes with some pretty bomb perks, including early and discounted access to our upcoming events, behind the scene exclusives with some of your favorite guests, the opportunity to call in on an upcoming show, the chance to vote on topics and guests for brand new shows, and I'm even giving you unlimited access to my vault of business classes where I'm teaching you everything from Airbnb to developing digital products and everything in between. And you can get access to our Patreon for as little as $5 a month, okay? Get in where you fit in, and I'll see you on the inside.